another episode of Three Nerds on a Sunday, where three nerdy friends talk about all things nerd, geek, and pop culture related. I am one third of the nerd, Sunny. The other two nerds that make up this table are Manny and Frank. What's up, guys?
Three nerds on a Sunday.
Three,
Bum, bum.
three, three nerds on a Sunday.
So
I was
much.
trying to make it like the Bill Nye song, or all of a sudden that guy goes, Bill.
Nerds, 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 nerds. Oh, I like it.
Yeah, it didn't really work, I guess.
That's all right. There's a lot of moxie going around right now, so
I tried.
I appreciate it. Much appreciated.
I really did
So,
try.
I tried my best, guys. I tried. So, anything exciting to bring up, or should we just jump straight into the news?
What a great intro. Go to news. I have nothing important.
Where are you going to next?
We're going to the news. Bitty, 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 bitty. Yes, there are sound effects now coming from us.
Oh, we forgot to do it.
I'll go ahead first.
Look
here.
at you.
John Wick 4 reportedly eyeing Wesley Snipes for swordsman role.
Oh, God.
Yeah, they're really going into it. They recently
They
signed
want to
on.
get everybody.
I'm gonna butcher his name, and I really respect him as an actor, so I'm not gonna try. But the casino owner from Army of the Dead, they also signed him on for John Wick 4 as well.
Hmm.
Man, Mortal
I don't
Kombat
remember.
really got him, huh?
Yeah,
Scorpion.
taking him places.
Oh. Yeah.
Oh.
That might.
I knew his name when the movie came out, and then I forgot.
Yeah, I tried to pronounce it, but I'm not even gonna try. I don't want to butcher his name. But yeah, I mean, they're adding a lot of names. They're definitely going for the fences.
But did they say what he would be?
Yes, a swordsman role.
Oh, okay. I thought Wesley Snipes was the swordsman.
Him, yes.
Both of them?
No, the other gentleman. It was undefined. He said he was going to be joining the cast. Any specific.
He's probably not going to fight, though.
I don't know. You never know. I mean,
maybe who knows?
Everyone fights in this, or shoots somebody, or.
It's like, hey, where'd you get that sword, bro? Tax evasion.
This isn't that shitty franchise.
My God, that movie is horrible. Oh my God.
Not good. And we were talking about.
Well,
we're talking about the expendable movies. If no one remembers, because 2
1
and 3
was
are
okay.
Good.
2
was
was also okay. 3 was, oh my God, so bad.
Yeah. Let's just avoid that topic in general.
Yeah. I'm just saying.
But yeah, I mean, John Wick 4 is definitely shaping up to be, as the article says, a star-studded all-star cast of.
I thought they were filming already.
Oh, they can always reshoot things or add people later.
Okay.
Unless you're Keanu, they don't need you there the whole shoot time. So.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm still excited for it. Getting a little bloated, but I mean, if they use everyone the right way, it could be fun. So.
Well, it's gonna be, I guess, Asian focused.
Oh, I have no idea. I actually don't know what the synopsis of this one is, but we'll definitely let you know because we will.
I have to say the third one, the story got a little stupid for me. Like I thought they were doing a better job in the first two.
Oh yeah,
It was a little weaker.
Yeah, I was just like, wait, what? Like, why? What are you guys doing?
3.
What are you doing?
I still like the action, of course, but.
Oh, the action is still great.
Other stuff was kind of like, I don't know about this.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I think they're doing too much. No, I don't want. It's not the right type of world building. It's just, hey, there's this thing now, and you have to go in a desert and almost die and come back and.
For no real reason. I mean.
Yeah, at the end.
Sort of a reason, but sort of not.
At the end, it didn't even matter.
It's like, did he have to do all that? I mean, he could have just solved it with his previous friends that he already had.
So with violence, but yeah. So
Yeah.
we'll see what 4 holds for us.
Yeah.
Who has the next one?
I got the next one. So mine This came out a couple days ago. Disney Plus no longer launching original shows on Fridays. Instead, Fridays will be saved for new movies that come out. All the new shows, just like Loki, will be coming out Wednesdays going forward.
I was writing our notes and I was about to write Disney Snipes, but no, I meant to write Disney Plus.
Snipes.
I was like, Disney Snipes.
I don't know
No
if
longer
this
doing
has to do. I don't know if this has to do with Bad Batch, but yeah. So going
How many
forward,
movies are they really going to have? I mean,
well, Luca came out today or
Yeah.
Friday, and that was really good. So
did they
like any
charge
other
for that
movies,
or it was free?
that one was free.
Because all of a sudden the kids were watching it. I was like, hey, wait, did you charge for Premiere Access?
I know.
Like, hey, come on, that's $30. You only get to watch it once. Or that's not true, right? You can watch it for what, 6 months or no? You can watch it for 30 days or something.
Forever.
I wouldn't know. I don't
Oh,
buy
it's
it.
forever.
You get early
Okay.
access. So you get forever. You can't ask Sunny this. Sunny's pretty cheap.
Hell yeah. Yeah, I ain't gonna front. Hell yeah, I'm cheap.
Yeah, you
Well,
what?
you're selectively cheap though, because like when it comes down to something you really want to do or really want to get, then you're just gonna get it. You pick and choose a little bit harder than other people do.
Oh yeah, I mean that's the way it should be. If you're gonna spend yourself on something nice for yourself, do it. But there's things you can cut a lot of corners because you don't have to pay full price for a lot of things in life. So
yeah,
treat yourself. Oh.
That can be dangerous too.
Yeah.
Yeah, just I don't know. I guess I don't care if it's on Wednesday or if it's on Friday. Wednesday hump day kind of helps you out, kind of gets through the week or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean it's fine.
Maybe they were seeing that they get busy as Friday comes and then they forget or they don't get as good of ratings.
Yeah, and maybe with the whole pandemic coming to an end and things opening up again, people are more inclined to go out on Fridays and they might not even watch the movie or miss a TV show or something like that. So, yeah, that's smart. During the week,
on regular television, nothing really comes out on Fridays. It's either Tuesdays or Thursdays.
Maybe that too.
So yeah,
you want to have their own little slot.
Because Fridays are usually like a death spot for like a lot of shows. So
yeah,
I guess it's a smart move.
Sure. Whatever day you want, Disney. I'm gonna watch it.
So,
but what if they have more than one show? Like if they have two running at the same, like would they both be on Wednesday, or they're just gonna schedule it so they don't do that?
I think they're all gonna be on Wednesdays now. It's just they're gonna span it out.
Yeah, they'll just do better.
That's why that's the question with Bad Batch, but
I
mean it's hard to say.
Yeah.
I don't know.
All right, we can move on. We're not talking about this. Keep it going.
Okay, I'll go. Mine is just E3 in general.
E3 in general.
Metroid Dread.
Metroid Dread.
Talk about that.
People have been wanting a Metroid game for a while. I wanted like a Prime style, but I think probably the hardcore fans wanted to go back to this 2D style.
To be honest, I didn't even know this was going to be a sequel to Fusion, and then Fusion's a sequel to Super Metroid, and then that's a sequel to Metroid 2, and then Metroid, all that. I didn't know.
I had no idea.
I grew up playing Metroid Fusion, and I loved that game.
Did you? Was that DS or was it prior to DS?
Game Boy Advance.
Oh, all the way back there. Yeah.
So the DS game that came out for.
I love the SP. That was my favorite Game Boy.
So that's. I think it was for that, or it was for just Game Boy Advance. But going back to the DS game that came out like in 2017, that's actually I didn't know that was a remake for Metroid 2. So that's kind of cool. It is. So I read that today. But then Dread is a sequel to Fusion. Which when I saw the Dread show or the Dread trailer, I was like, man, this looks like Fusion. I'm down. And I was reading more about it, and it's like, oh, it is Fusion.
That is cool. So
But
wait,
continue.
is Fusion like the furthest in the timeline in the future? Like, is that the last thing that has occurred in the storyline?
Yes.
Okay, because they were saying something about like this could be the end of Samus for right now.
So this is the end of Samus for her storyline,
Mm-hmm.
not Metroid Prime. Metroid Prime is something different.
Those I would love to replay on the Switch, but they haven't done it, which I'm surprised because they've done it for everything else.
To be honest, I'm
It's
surprised they haven't done it for what is it called? Or for the other games, for the other old games of Metroid.
oh yeah,
But it is what it is.
yeah. They've been really neglecting Metroid in general.
Yeah, I have no idea. But yeah,
No idea
continue
why.
with your news. I don't know why they haven't been doing that. Why they've been doing that.
I was just gonna spit random games that I thought were interesting. A lot of them I really didn't think were very interesting. The game industry in general is just kind of really not even hit or miss. It's like 90% trash and trying to make it buy garbage or pre-order or spend microtransactions. And I think there's only 10% that are actual, maybe I would say 5% gems, the other 5 like good fun, and then the other 90% to me is just garbage. Um, so I haven't been that excited, but there was some stuff here like Breath of the Wild 2. I really did like the first game a lot, and so I hope this is really good as well. I think this one comes out next year. I don't know a lot about it, but I just saw the trailer. I thought it looked good, and based on the first game, I'm pretty much sold on it. There is a Battlefield game coming out. I don't know if you guys heard of it. It's
Yeah, that
called,
one looks interesting.
I think, 2142 or 2042.
That
I
one
think,
is called 2042.
yeah. So I added a 1 there, but yeah, it's a little bit in the future, not that far. But I always have fun with Battlefield, and what I like is that they don't always pump them out year by year, so they take a little bit longer. I think the last one was Battlefield 1. That's already, I think, 4 years old, which held up pretty good. I mean, I thought it was a good game, so I'm hoping this one will be good. I think it comes out this fall, I think.
That's some good
They're
memories of Battlefield. So
yeah,
I'm
man,
excited for that.
really good times. It's totally different from Call of Duty. In a lot of ways, I kind of like prefer it sometimes. But there's also a Guardians of the Galaxy game. Did you guys see the
Meh,
trailer for that?
meh.
I'll be honest, I heard of it, but I didn't even bother with E3 this year. So this is
I
all.
know. I really barely did either. I get a lot of stuff in my feed for the gaming in general, so I kept hearing about it that way. But like I said, I watched a bunch of trailers, like 2-minute stuff here and there, like recaps, and these were the only things that really stood out. This one, I mean, it looks kind of good, but it looks like a retread. It's like basically the movie in a game, and it's like, well, I kind of already experienced this. Like, I don't know how interesting this would be. And it
Oh,
looks kind of like the Avengers game, which was kind of a little bit of a piece of crap. So
like that game came and went so fast.
I know it really did.
I was like,
Um, Another one I'm looking forward to, Back for Blood. It's by
this
the
is the
Left
one.
4 Dead guys.
Yeah, this is the one I want.
Yeah, they said there's a beta in August, which is cool, and I think the game comes out in October. And this, I always love Left 4 Dead. I thought it was great formula. So
Hmm.
I will be trying the beta just to see, make sure it's something I really want. And then last thing really is Xbox kind of came out swinging.
Do you
They
think so?
think they tried to. I'm just saying they came out swinging. I'm not saying they like hit a home run or they landed or they knocked anybody out. But I mean they did show more Halo. They showed the multiplayer, which looks kind of fun, but the main thing with it I guess is that it's free if you have Game Pass. So you can play the multiplayer. I think single player too though, because I believe everything
No.
they
So
release comes out on
I
there.
think Halo in general, the single player will be Game Pass. Multiplayer is going to be free to play.
hmm But they're gonna have seasons and shit, so there's gonna be plenty of opportunities for them to make money.
So the cool thing about the seasons part is that unlike Call of Duty, where if you miss a season you can't get stuff back, they're going to let you go back, I think, buy separate seasons. Like you get to pick and choose. And it's really going to be all cosmetic stuff. I don't think there's going to be any guns or anything in there.
Okay.
So we'll see what happens with that. But, I mean, that's going to be the only reason why I have an Xbox for that game.
Yeah, I started looking at, I was like, let me see about a Series S, and I'm like, $300, and it's like, no 4K, 256 gig. I'm like,
God,
forget this. I'm like, no, there's no way in hell I could do this. And then they were completely unavailable at retail, so everybody's scalping them still. So I think I'll just wait another 2 years or something. But that was really the extent. Most of it, like I said, it was not, to me, not very interesting. And the rest of them, there were some that looked kind of cool, kind of good.
Back for Blood, is that only going to be on the new consoles, or that the old, the previous generation and the new one?
That is a good question. I think it's cross. They were saying something about crossplay, so there is PS4 version as well.
Oh, that's good. I like that.
Yeah, and it will be standard $59 for that.
All right.
And it comes out October 11th, and then, like I said, there's a beta in August.
Cool.
So
yeah,
that should.
I definitely love Left 4 Dead 2. I think that's one of my favorite games.
Yeah, man, I had so much fun playing.
It's definitely my top 10.
And PC was cool because people were adding maps and stuff. Like somebody added Helm's Deep,
now,
which was really cool.
Left 4 Dead, Sonny, did you play it by yourself, or did you play it online?
No, I played with friends, and then I would play by myself sometimes because I wanted to see if I can beat the bridge mission on my own. And I did it once, and then every other time I either came very close or not even out of the gate. But yeah, it was a mix. And what I like about those games is like you can play with friends, or if you just need to kill an hour or something like that, you just kind of have a little downtime. You don't want to start anything new. You just jump on, kill a bunch of zombies, call it a day. So pretty fun. So this one will definitely be interesting. Like, I think at this point I'm 1 foot out of gaming in general, but there are still games I still do want to play and try out.
Yeah.
But I'm nowhere near as enthusiastic as I was like even 5 years ago for games.
Same here. I mean, there's the occasional gem that's just absolutely amazing that I love and I can't stop playing, and I put 40, 50 hours in. And so I stick to that, and then I have like a game like you were talking about, like if you have an hour here, hour there, it's really fun to pick up and just mess around with it.
Yeah.
But in general, like I was saying, it's just a bunch of cash grabs and half-baked crap.
Yeah, I mean, we can go through the list of just a couple years, but
and all these once great companies that just turn into trash. So, it's kind of sad.
Or whatever.
Like, just replace this name because this is a disgrace to that name.
Damn shame.
That was it. That was kind of a big one, but that was my only news actually.
Was there any big PlayStation games that were really announced? Or did PlayStation even have their day yet?
I think they said they weren't going to participate. They were going to have their own.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Their own thing. So there was stuff that was going to happens to be on PlayStation, but that's it.
Yeah, we'll see what they have to offer when they do their show, because they're special now.
I mean, it's like they already pushed God of War, and we already know most of the other stuff. But I do want to play Horizon, and I still want to get Ratchet. I haven't gotten around to it. But
the game was gorgeous in
man, it looks beautiful, man. Gorgeous. It looks so good. They did like a photo mode where they zoomed in and you could see individual furs like on the hair and stuff like that. Really cool.
Yeah, I do miss those games.
Yeah, it was always fun. I wonder why they don't bring back Jack. Although you're a Jack and Daxter fan. I was too.
Shit, I love
it. It's been so long.
That and Sly Cooper were
Sly Cooper.
Shit. Man. Oh boy.
Those were too much fun. They had so many of those. They had that, the other one, and then Ratchet. So they had a lot of kind of like crazy character platformers.
Yeah. Oh, good times. What happened to gaming? I'm sad.
I want Spider-Man 2. Please don't need to talk about that.
Yeah.
With Venom. Oh my god. I would cry.
Surfing the web, surfing the web.
Tears.
I think the biggest disappointment for
I'll
that
never forget
Spider-Man game
Mhm.
is Venom looks like shit. If Venom looks like shit and I get
And he's
no
stupid, he's,
fucking
like,
black
funny.
suit or the black suit is shit, holy fuck!
Yeah,
I'll be
that would suck.
so pissed.
Insomniac, I have faith in them right now. They're doing a great job with everything they do. So
Like, do you guys remember Web of Shadows Venom?
yeah.
Yeah.
No, I don't. I remember the game, but not him.
That's the Venom I don't want. Let me just make sure this is right in my head.
Shadows. I like that
That's-
other game where it's like you play as 4 different Spider-Mans.
That was cool. With
Oh, this is like with the jagged legs, like the hairy legs on his suit.
Hairy legs. No, I don't. Maybe.
Like the legs are
Yeah.
like have little spikes or something.
I don't know, but I hate how his white spider looks on him.
Yeah.
Like, if
Oh,
it's something
spider.
like that, holy
Because-
fuck, I'll be pissed.
They're gonna try to like
I see what you're saying.
redesign it a little bit because they did that with Spider-Man suit as well.
But I really liked. I like how Doc Ock looked in it. I liked all the redesign of the characters.
Right.
So I have no problems, and I really think they're gonna hit it out of the park. But I'm just saying, like,
Dude, what if you can play as Venom?
I think that's gonna be.
They're not gonna do that.
They're not gonna do that. They're
It's
not.
gonna piss me off because I really want to play as.
How dare you not put this thing that I want?
They
that I
need to
tell you-
do. They need to do like a Shattered Dimensions type of thing where you can have different ones.
Really? Again? I think no.
Yeah,
no.
come on.
I think just leave that.
Well,
We're gonna
they
have
won't.
enough multiverse stuff. Let's
There's
not
never
overdo it.
enough, damn it.
I think there is enough multiverse stuff.
Yeah, they
I
probably.
think there is enough.
really
How
saturating it
Marvel
right now.
is doing it in the MCU is fine because they're kind of. You guys don't like. Spoiler alert! You guys don't like the new episode of Loki. Whatever.
Nope.
I like
But
it. I just
I
don't
feel like
love
you
it.
guys want more action how it is now. No, you gotta ease into it, and then your mind will be blown.
It's not bad. Just don't give me a character that's shitty like Loki. I'm sorry.
He's
I
not
don't like
shitty.
Loki.
I like him. He's layered.
Loki's awesome as a character, and I think what
And
makes him
Hiddleston
awesome
is really
the-
good in this show. I
is
like
the act. The actor is what makes him awesome. He's more interesting than Thor by yards.
But
By yards.
Yeah, Thor has gotten better, but
we'll say
Thor has
later.
gotten better, but Loki has been there.
I
From
love
the
when Loki's like, "Oh, now I know why Thor finds this so annoying."
Yeah. So we'll talk about that later, but
That was funny to me. Yeah.
so I want to say there was one other game for Mario Party was also announced for
Yeah, I
for,
just kind of glossed over it
Switch.
because I didn't care. So
uh,
I heard the one that came out. I heard it wasn't really bad actually. The Mario Party that already is on Switch. That's why I was kind of like, "Oh, it's not gonna be good."
You know what I'm saying?
It was bad. It was bad.
I heard it was bad. That's what I heard. Yeah,
Okay.
it barely has any games and stuff.
I want to say we're missing one other thing for E3, but I can't really remember. Yeah, but
Yeah, there probably is. I mean, there was a ton of stuff actually, but I just kind of looked at anything that stood out to me.
yeah,
I mean,
nothing
the
really
new
stood out.
Zelda, new Metroid. That's pretty big. You don't get a lot of those that often.
Yeah, nothing really stood out for me. Just Metroid.
Everybody's been
Zelda-
talking about a Switch Pro, but still hasn't been mentioned.
I don't know. All right, are we ready to move on?
Yeah, I think so.
Sure.
All right, Sonny, go.
What was that?
Well, you know,
Sound like a vulture or something.
since I'm a huge fan of Shudder, here's some Shudder news. VHS 4 will be an exclusive and streaming only on Shudder when it comes out later this.
Cool.
I don't know. It'll be.
VHS 3 even good?
Not
I
really.
like-
There might have been one or two good ones.
It's really fun.
This is
The magician one.
stuff.
I actually just watched the first one not that long ago. The one with the hotel, where the guy's like going cross country and going to hotels. That was creepy.
Was it?
Mm-hmm. That was creepy as hell, dude.
It
You
was a
don't like
cool twist.
shit.
No, the problem is that was Ty West, and Ty West needs like an hour and a half to, because he is not a fast
Ty
storyteller.
West is your boy.
That's what I'm saying. Like he needs a slow burn. Like the Innkeepers is fantastic, but it's a slow burn that like eases you and like it just creeps and creeps and keeps expanding. Like 20 minutes is not enough for him to like tell a really awesome story. Like Ty West is amazing, but he's a long form type of guy.
I guess,
He's
but
not good at short stories.
thought it was just enough. Ty West, is he the one who did the House of
The
the
House of the
Devil?
Devil.
That's the one that's for me the best one that he's done in my opinion.
He has a. It's not that big of a filmography, but it's pretty solid for me. Innkeepers, In the Valley of
He's done
Violence,
a lot
The
of
Roost.
TV lately, like Outcast, Exorcist, stuff like that.
Man. Good for him. Hopefully he can get his
He's
big
staying
break
busy, I guess.
like Grain Guard did. But this one will be titled VHS 94, and instead of the the layout of this film is going to be a little different. It's not going to be like different stories, like just random stories. It's going to be one continuous story with different segments being shown. So it's more of a connective tissue type of thing. Like it's cohesive instead of just random things. To me, that's what I
Why
love
would they
about
do
it.
that?
Because anthology is not a really popular thing. It's very nichey, and
No,
some
people like it.
not in general. I
I
mean,
guess it's not mainstream, but it's gaining popularity.
that's the thing. It's not mainstream, and if you can't sell it to the mass audience nowadays, a lot of people don't want it because if you don't make money, you can go piss up a rope. So
Star Wars Clone Wars with anthology and American Horror Stories anthology, and those are mainstream.
yeah, but you have a whole season.
They're kind of like the
there's
exceptions,
episodes
I guess.
per season.
Those are pretty big exceptions.
Yeah, again, there's like movies. You have like 4 stories that are 20 minutes each instead of one season dedicated to a theme. 13
But
hours.
it's like
There's
why
a big
break the
difference.
mold on the fourth movie? Why not just restart it or recall it something else? Like
The problem is that there's too many movies of VHS. That's the problem. That's why they got to change it up.
I don't think so.
I think people will look at it regardless and be like, I know what this is and I don't want it, or I do want it. And they won't care if you change it up because they'll just assume what it is. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't know. It's weird. Like you would think that anthologies would do a lot better nowadays since people's attention span is shortened every year.
Yeah, that actually would make sense.
A 2-hour movie, you watch it for like 15 minutes and here's a new one. Oh shit!
That's actually kind of why I like them. Yeah. It's like
Again, like I'm kind of like why I like Love, Death, and then Robots is that like
that's another one.
They tell certain stories that only should be for short form. They don't try to cram in like give me a random movie. I don't know, just whatever. Like Thor 3. If you were to take that into like a turn it into like a short film real quick, it'd be cool, a little action snippet, but you won't have that same impact. But if you take like the one with in Love, Death, and Robots season 2 with the guy and the kids and the bang bang shoot. That one is perfect for like this.
That was
because
any longer and I would feel like I already saw this a million times before and I don't need to see this. So that's
also the writers doing their job.
That's because again, like anthologies are really hard to do well because you either don't give enough or you give too much or it's not. There's a fine line and it's really hard to walk. If it's done well, I think it's fantastic. And
but there wasn't a lot of dialogue in that one that we all liked. I don't know what it's called, The Pilgrim or something like that. But we all know which one we're talking about. Yeah. And where the ruthless, it was almost like Equilibrium. shorter and like it was just good. It was so good. It was so much
I think
of it was visual
anthologies in
storytelling.
general just don't work for movie form, but I think we've pretty much nailed it that anthologies work for TV shows, and all that, but not for movies.
Mhm. Yeah.
Yep. So
Yeah,
we'll
and then
see.
it's like,
Other-
with a movie, you're like, here's 4 stories in one movie. And it's kind of like, oh, I thought I was getting like a whole movie.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I mean, regardless, I want to watch it, so see what happens there.
Definitely watching this. I'm a huge fan of these movies, so I can't wait for
Yeah.
for number 4. And if they change it up a little bit, I'm okay with that. Try something new. Sure, it might
As
hurt,
long as
but
they do a good job,
yeah, as long as you try to make something good, I can appreciate it.
Well, tell me how it is, fellas.
Oh, you damn right I will. Shutter, you will sponsor me one way or another. So, who wants to go next with the news?
I go
I'm
next.
done with
Mine's
the news.
kind of short.
All right.
I don't know if you guys saw, but there's some little waves going on in the DC world. So season 3 of Harley Quinn is almost completed, and the creators of the show had to delete a certain scene that involved a Cape Crusader that we all enjoy watching, and his forever girlfriend that likes to dress as a feline. Well, apparently there was a sex scene where Batman is,
God.
yeah, doing some stuff, and I
With
was
Batgirl?
surprised. No, so okay, and this is why I brought it up too. So I was surprised how much this actually kicked off, and everyone kind of got mad that they cut it off and all that. And Warner Brothers' whole thing was, well, superheroes don't do that. We sell toys to the consumers, and we can't have them do that.
You know what else they said? You can't show guns in the toys.
Well, I can't
Like-
show guns in the show,
Like
right?
if you sell the Joker toy, you can't show him with any guns.
Really? Well,
Yep.
really?
Yep. If you sell, I don't know, a guy who uses guns for a living, you cannot show him with guns. Like Two-Face, no guns. It's like, what the
No,
fuck?
Put one and one
It's just
together.
weird.
But what I thought about that is that that's what you alluded to. But Batgirl and Batman do it in that fucking
Killing
movie?
joke.
That was the
What's that movie
stupidest
again?
thing ever.
Killing joke.
Oh, the Killing Joke.
Killing
Yeah,
Joke.
so that's okay to do, right? Someone
I
that
know,
you
right?
adopt, basically, and you put under your wing. But
And like
someone
your
who you
almost
marry in
your
the
best
comics,
friend, you fuck his daughter.
So,
It's like, what
I
the
guess-
fuck, dude? Like,
I
what the hell's
guess
wrong
the
with
question is, how explicit was this scene? They might like, they
Well,
might be
that
trying to
show's kind
hide
of
behind the
raunchy,
fact.
so it might have
you know,
been
like-
kind
have you
of
seen
over the
Harley
top.
Quinn, Sonny?
I haven't seen it yet. That's
Yeah,
what I'm
it's
asking.
pretty raunchy. But I would say the scene that happened in Killing Joke was pretty bad on its own.
It was. It
That was
like
more cringy.
dirty on a
bad.
rooftop and like,
It was
let's
weird.
do this, Batgirl.
Weird.
Yeah.
It was cringy, but
It was so stupid.
It was only cringy because we knew who Batgirl was and how it is in the comics.
that's
And,
what
How
I'm
could
saying.
you do that to Jim, man? Come on, dude.
yeah, dude. Like if it was Catwoman, we'd be like, yeah, get it
Yeah,
in.
dude. Like finally,
But-
Jesus, get it on, Batman.
So,
You
and
deserve
then,
it, bro. You're always defending the city every night. You deserve yourself a little fun.
Some people have had fun. One major person that had fun is Zack Snyder. And you could look up on Zack Snyder's Twitter on what he posted. He posted a photo, and you could only imagine what that photo is if you know what we're talking about. Won't go into it here, but I don't know. I just found it kind of funny with everything that was going on. At one point, Barstool thought maybe they have this theory that DJ Khaled is Batman. Want to know more what I'm talking about? Look up Batman and Barstool, and you could probably find what I'm talking about. It's pretty hilarious.
Holy
And I'm not a DJ Khaled fan.
God, dude. What
No.
the hell?
So
WB, a bunch of morons.
you have to watch that.
What is
Yeah,
wrong
I
with
don't know,
those
man.
people?
That's amazing. I love it.
But and the other thing, I mean, this is what WB has to go down to. Like, you have to sell to the adults because, I mean,
You have to. That's your audience. That's the people
For
who
now-
are spending money.
and like Harley Quinn show works. Like, it's just poking fun at itself, and that's what you kind of need.
Yeah.
And it's a great show. It's not for kids, and
Kind of like Teen Titans, the movie. Remember we went to see it, and it was just making fun of stuff in the DC universe.
yeah,
And it was so entertaining. It was like, it worked for us and for the kids. It was kind of funny.
so that was my little piece of news. Just brought that up.
It's a good one. So season 3 hasn't come out though, is that right?
It has not come out yet. No,
Okay. And they were like fighting about this scene or whatever.
the scene was cut 100%.
Sorry to
I
cut.
don't think there was any fighting involved. Warner Brothers said nope, and that was it.
Wow. You gotta be kidding.
That
WB is like very like PG right now. They're like, yeah, no guns and the toys, and we're not having this Batman scene.
Yeah, it was interesting.
It's funny how their animation quality like took such a nosedive, man. Because Long Halloween's coming out, right?
Long
Isn't that
Halloween
the next?
awesome though.
You saw it already?
No, I did not see it, but the little bit of
Oh, okay.
trailer that I saw, I absolutely love the animation in that one.
I'm hoping it's good. Yeah.
Have you seen anything about it?
No, just like one image or 2 images.
Trailer, make sure I'm not over
I could have seen the trailer. I may be wrong, but I don't remember at this point.
No.
At this point, there's like little clips now, plus trailers, things like that. Oh, other thing for I'm going off topic. Well, I'll never mind. I'll wait. But what I was saying is that the animation does look fantastic
Mm-hmm.
in Long Halloween. So watch that and agree with me because you will.
Yeah, I remember I liked the trailer. I just don't. I had to rewatch it.
Moving on.
Any
from
more news?
Khaled. Yeah, just one little quick thing. It's 3. So with the whole Zack Snyder thing, igniting the other people, get my cut released. David Ayer Suicide Squad. He tried to make a push for his quote unquote
This is
cut.
still a thing.
So now the newest trend is release the Schumacher cut for Batman Forever.
I am so down for that.
There's a Schumacher cut?
Apparently, there's an extra 50 minutes of footage that is supposed to be in the film, including a scene where Batman is confronting I think it said like a 6 or 7 foot tall Batman or man bat thing.
Man bat.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't think it was actually a man bat, but like a bat, just a huge scary bat. Yeah,
It's probably
I mean,
unfinished CG work, probably.
It's hard to tell, but this is just another string of get this cut. Get this. I mean, I enjoy the Schumacher cuts for what they are. I really do appreciate them.
Yeah.
It wasn't his fault that they told him to go a different direction, especially with what's the one that we love to quote all the time.
We don't love it, but Batman and Robin.
Thank you, Batman and Robin.
Oh,
We love to quote it, and we always laugh, talk about it, so we have a good time in certain ways.
Yeah, but we don't love it. That's something entirely different.
But yeah, I mean,
Sonny, you're no fun, dude. You don't want any of these fucking cuts, yet you want to be a fucking filmmaker, yet you don't want to see the cuts that the filmmakers wanted us to
unfinished
see.
trash. Like
They're not unfinished. Like, the reason why they want to come out is people want to finish them. Like, the Zack Snyder cut was finished.
Yeah, but this one it can't be finished.
But the problem with these cuts is that if you let them have full reign, I don't need a 4 fucking hour movie about Justice League. Didn't have to be, but it did it, and it's a thing.
Should have been 2 movies. That's the problem.
Yeah,
I needed it because we're not going to get more Snyder cuts. We're not going to get any more Snyder universe. So I want to see as close as I can.
I don't envision a future where I will ever watch that again.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's,
definitely not. I'm probably
So,
not watching it
I
again.
mean, I'm done. It's just
well,
fucking done.
but yeah, I mean, like the Zack Snyder cut. I was willing to give him the benefit of the doubt after hearing again how much he got screwed over. But a lot of these films, the cuts are cut for a reason. Like they either went too crazy with something, or they spent too much time on something they didn't need to be focused on. It, the, there's the reason why there should be more than one voice, and then you give someone full control. It could be great, could be bad, it could be just terrible, but there has to be some kind of balance. So I don't know.
Yeah.
It's interesting, this new trend of release my cut. I'm like, yeah, the movie wasn't that great to begin with. I don't know if making it longer is gonna make it better, because it shouldn't be like 6 hours long for it to make sense and be good.
Yeah.
That's just my.
I would say movies and video games have been disappointing as hell for a while. Like the
Yeah.
vast majority have been. And it's
Well, the
like there's
mainstream.
only small percentages for me that actually are amazing.
Yeah, the mainstream stuff of like movies and games has definitely been not great. Very sad, actually.
I
So,
guess this happens to every person. Like when they get older, they're like, ah, fuck the latest stuff. Back in my day, it was so great.
well, I mean, I didn't grow up in the '80s, but shit, at least we had Backdraft was in the '90s,
You definitely
and
can see their
that
stuff
was a staple
just not made the
of
same way anymore.
no, well, because
Games are
now
not,
it's
movies are not.
now it's about following the comedy of Marvel and the spectacle of Fast and Furious movies, and it's the
Try to
same
build
thing.
a universe, and it's like there's only room for so many universes. So
Yeah,
you can't.
and
Not
then
every single movie that comes out can be an MCU.
yeah,
So
and again, like people just look at Marvel and go, "Oh, we can do that too." That took years and years and years and years and years and years and years to do.
but not only that, it was already part of your what you loved. Like maybe people were just lapsed on it. They weren't, they already were familiar with all this stuff. They already loved it. Well,
Uh,
and then it brought in people who didn't. But it's like
well,
I don't
like the
know.
Dark.
It's like a once in a generation kind of thing they pulled off.
Well, yeah,
They pulled
again,
off something
because
pretty crazy.
you put that love and care into something, it actually shows instead of just rushing shit out like DC did, or the Dark Universe. Just like, let's make this really bad movie and just assume that we're gonna make all these other films like the I think the
Oh
Invisible Man
yeah.
was supposed to star like Johnny Depp or something like that, and
Mhm.
it was, and then they scrapped it really quick when Tom Cruise's movie flopped big time.
Yeah. Oh God. I forgot that even exists.
Yeah, they
What's
they were
crazy is
tested
what they
to
did
make
with Iron Man. I mean, like even me as a comic fan and a childhood fan. I mean, Iron Man was like number 20 or 30 or 40 on my list, and they really did a great job bringing him into the modern and making him cool and everything.
yeah, because like, I don't know about everyone else, but I know for me, like the only thing I knew about him was from the cartoon show. Ah,
Yeah.
yeah. That was
Iron Man.
that was the
I
only
can't
thing
even
I
say I
ever knew.
even knew
He's
that.
just banging on his anvil. Bing, bing, bing.
So,
It is
yeah,
hilarious.
but
I
that's
don't
it for
even know
my
what we were
news.
talking about. Schumacher cut,
Right.
right?
Yeah, that was the Schumacher, you know, and then we got a
That's
tangent.
if there's that much footage, don't you think they would have been money hungry enough to release a DVD like 10, 15 years ago already? And been like, hey, look at this.
No,
Unreleased footage.
because Batman Forever. I mean, a lot of people
Baby!
kind of wanted to forget Batman Forever and Batman and Robin and all that.
Oh,
So
for
I
Val
can
Kilmer
see why
alone.
they didn't release it.
Oh man. It's so funny when Dick Grayson was like folding his clothes and he impressed Alfred with his folding clothes skills.
Like this
It's like, oh
so
yeah, this
cold.
guy could totally fight crime, man. Look at the way he folds those clothes. He's a badass.
uh,
Wait, what are you
movies are
talking
fun.
about?
Fucking Batman Forever when Robin or Dick
Oh,
Grayson is
shut
like,
up! Yeah.
And Alfred looks at him
With
like,
the fucking
"Oh,
wet
look at this
socks
kid.
and shit. And
He's got some potential. Look, Master
doesn't he
Bruce.
fucking ring the
Master
socks with
Bruce.
his foot,
Don't you
with
want
like
to
his
train this
toes?
guy?" But he did. He just strung that out like that. Wow. Don't you want to train him to be your fucking protege?
What
So
color and the white be fine? Shit, he's a superhero. Love this guy.
Oh my god, it's so ridiculous.
I'll still pay for the Snyder thing.
Oh man.
Or not the Snyder cut. I'll still pay for what is it called? Yeah,
Schumacher cut.
Yeah, Schumacher cut.
It does suck though, because who knows how many ideas and cool stuff there's out there that just due to studio meddling never seen the light of day.
Or don't even get off the ground to begin with.
That too, because it's not a shared universe or whatever's hot.
Fucking Marvel. I mean, great that they've got the movies, but man, they really did change the landscape of a lot of things.
It's kind of
Well-
what I was thinking about the other day is like, it's like they're in like video games are in a kind of hard spot because I remember games were $60 ever since like 98 or even before. And how can you possibly, like, they have to find a way to make more money. So I could see why loot boxes and season passes and DLC was invented to make up for that money. But it has gutted the industry, and I think similar things happen with movies, especially with streaming and pirating and all that. I mean, it's like, how could you take a risk that this guy's vision is going to be good? And when you have 200 million on the line that you invested in this movie, it's like, I'm not trying to stick up for them. I'm just saying that, like, how the hell do you balance that? That's probably why half the shit that comes out is garbage.
Well,
Because people are afraid to lose money, afraid to lose their jobs and their careers.
sure. But like games, like I just feel like games have gotten less fun. Like
Yeah.
great stories, like
There's great ones, but a lot of them are,
Last One and Red Dead and all that kind of stuff. But
Red Dead.
games are just shit to play. They're just boring. They're not. It's just same
It's like
shit.
the same thing, right? It's like, go talk to this guy, then walk 10 minutes to this other island, talk to that guy. Oh, and make sure you bring him 10 flowers while you're on the way. And it's like, dude, fuck you. I'm not doing that.
Well, like Skyrim is a pretty basic forward game. It's a dumbed down version of like
I guess the freedom is what really propels that game.
But yeah, it's just fun to play, and the fact that like you can do 5 playthroughs and still do a mission you've never done the past 4 times is incredible. It's fun and it's different. But like, or
I guess
was
in
like
games
foreign.
they're like, let's get voice actors, let's get mocap, let's get stuff that's not even gameplay.
Yeah, so
and then they forget the gameplay and they're like, what the fuck? And they use these stupid engines that nobody knows how to use or develop for.
yeah, there's a whole story.
And then movies too. I mean, it's like, I don't know. It's like you either have the talent or you have something else that draws people in. It's like outside of talent or faces that you recognize. I don't know what draws people in these days for a movie.
I mean,
It's either amazing CGI or a face that you recognize or a kid's animation that a family of 4 will go see together and spend $200 or $100, to go see.
Oh.
So it's like outside of that, it's like how much stuff is going to make money and which ideas are going to actually come out.
They wanna spend 200 million to make $1 billion right off the gate. If they can't do it, then they're not gonna bother.
Right.
And again, we get more generic shit over and over again, and this again, like the art of making a movie for 30 is weird to call it an art form, but to make a $30 million movie look like 100 million is lost art. Like Deadpool really well. They had to work with his budget and it worked.
There you
and
go.
I like
a good example.
I like Deadpool too, but they went too crazy and weird with it, where I think it hurt it more than helped it. Where one was restrained, but they really had to focus on the humor and the interactions and stuff, and really use the money wisely. there is.
Well, that highway scene was like the poster child for getting something
Right.
greenlit.
Yeah.
But how much did that trailer cost, or how much did that previs cost? And like, what's like a micro budget right now in movies? Is it like $1 million or $5 million
No,
bucks?
like $30 million, $40 million.
30?
You think I'm kidding? No, like if
Like
you can't
15
make
to
money
30?
off, if you can't make money off of 15,000 or 30,000, they
You mean
don't want
million?
you. 30 million, thank you. Or because like you're either
So
Paranormal Activity or
right,
you're
right.
Deadpool
Paranormal
one.
Activity.
That's it. There's no in between. Now
Paranormal
like
was what? Like
gun, yeah.
10, like $5 million bucks for Paranormal one, or not even. And it made
Yeah,
some kind of insane money.
I want to say
But
1,000,
scary
but
scary movies are
a
always
million.
like such a wild card, because it's like, couples or new people who are just dating each other are gonna go see it. It's kind of universal. People are just gonna go see the whatever's scary right now out of 10 movies, no matter if there's an Oscar contender, no matter if there's a kids movie, scary movie is gonna be like top two that people will choose.
But that's why they give you like no budget because they're like,
I know.
if you at
It's
least
like,
we get it
here,
back.
go to this house and film this for $1 million.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's what they try to
Like
do.
I could be wrong, but I think like it was like Medea's Halloween was like $15 million to make. Yeah, it was like some weird amount. Like I could be wrong, but
Those are also like, they just found their audience and they're like, we can do this for so cheap and we'll make 10 times what we spent.
I don't know, man. I just like
It started with giving him a chance on the first one. It's like, oh, he did it once, let's give him another chance. It's like, for them, it's like a lottery. Like, I gave this kid $100, he came back with 1,000. Let me send him again for another $100.
So
See if I get back 1,000.
Memento was 5 million.
5 million.
Moon with Sam Rockwell was 5 million as well. Pi, I don't know if you guys remember that movie. That was in '98. That was 60,000. Shaun of
60,000
the
bucks?
Dead was 6.1 million.
My God.
Donnie Darko 4.5 million.
Hmm. They're all
Open
like on the
Water, I don't
edge
know.
of horror.
If you're on Open Water was 500,000.
Oh
But
my God.
what was
They
the
paid some
last one?
fisherman in Italy like $100 to drive him out there.
What was
American
like
Psycho was 8 million.
what was
8
the
What were you
million?
last
asking?
like or any of those or anything that's like in the past 5 years maybe or 6 years that were around that budget? Do we know offhand
It would be
or
2 or
like
3 times that by now.
You
I thought
got
So 5
Cena.
million would be like 15.
Cena was under 10 million.
what?
It was Cena.
I don't know what that is.
Oh, there's
Buried
freak accidents
was
too. There's
2010.
like Robert
It's 3
Rodriguez
million.
fucking making that Mexico movie for fucking how much? 100
Everybody
grand.
El Mariachi was, I just saw that. It was,
It was seriously something stupid like 50 or 100,000.
no, not even.
No, not even.
It was like 7,000.
Yeah, he made next to nothing.
Where is it?
25 grand maybe, something like that.
No, 7,000.
Oh
Yeah,
my
it was
God,
like next to nothing. Like, but again,
that
like,
is fucking crazy.
like I'm trying to think of something in the last 5 years that was that low and like made a lot of money, and it
$7,000.
was obscure or indie film or some that was like
Yeah, it made $1
under the
million
radar.
bucks.
Yeah, it was like
Moonlight was on a budget between 1.5 and 4 million.
what
But
was
Antonio wasn't even in that, right? And Mariachi?
Banderas was not on that one, no.
No,
No.
he was not. Okay.
There's your movie, Sonny. Moonlight, 1.5 to 4 million.
like I haven't seen it yet, but yeah, so that's
best-
one.
Best
Good.
Picture winner with the lowest budget. This was the Best Picture winner with the lowest budget since Rocky.
Yeah, but
it says here if you adjust Rocky's
how many
film,
saw it?
what was that?
But how many saw it though before it was nominated for Best Picture. How many actually? Uh, like, did it make money when it first came out, or did it make money after it won?
Does it matter?
Yeah,
They won Moonlight. I'm sorry, they won an Oscar. So I mean,
saying,
people are gonna see that right after.
I'm saying though, was it? But if they never got nominated, would anyone talk about it or care about it?
Oh,
If
Moonlight. I forgot about that movie. I haven't seen it,
I don't know where you're going with
but
it wasn't for the Oscars going, hey, we should nominate this movie. It might have been made, no one watched it, and we'll never get another one ever again. Now they might maybe risk it again, but like again, like if something's not gonna make money nowadays, they're just gonna throw it on the streaming service. They have Netflix pay them 10 million off of a $2 million budget, and no one will ever see it again or anything like that. I mean,
but they still made $10 million off a $2 million budget. They still made a crap load of money, and then
Yeah.
Netflix then will still have.
But they don't just nominate crap for no reason. I mean, they saw something in it, even if it was like inorganic, where it's like, oh, I know people will latch onto this, you know.
Yeah, again, like making 8 million off of that deal. Let's say if it was 2 million, they sold it for Netflix for 10. That's only 8 million. That's nothing because the next big budget movie is going to be 100 million, 150 million dollars. That doesn't even cover a quarter of that cost.
I mean, the cost is relative to the
6
stars,
months of
right?
its release, it had grossed 55 million. Moonlight.
It's not bad.
But also, Moonlight was not supposed to be a blockbuster like these Marvel movies or anything like that. So
yeah,
that's where the conversation gets a little confusing. I don't know where you're trying to get at with that, because if your budget's 1.5 million and you sell this movie for 10 million, I mean,
9 times the money, right?
No, but the overall conversation I was trying to get was like that's an exception, but can we find like if we sat down and did the numbers, can we find 20 of those films in the past 5 years? Because again, you named all these movies that were like early 2000s, late 90s that were like 20 years ago. Because like,
I got another one for you. Get
Okay.
Out. 5 million budget.
5
Made
million
255 million worldwide.
So I was saying, horror usually will get the benefit of the doubt because like,
horror is all mental. Like you don't need to see stuff.
People will go see it though. Like if you're gonna go out on your first date, you're probably gonna pick horror. You're not gonna pick something else. You're not gonna go see, some like 2.5 hour drama that's like depressing or anything. It's like you want to go see something scary or funny, basically.
Like, I don't know if you can tell me about Moon, but like Moon, fantastic movie. I think it's one of Rockwell's best films.
Yeah.
No one really knows about it. It's fantastic, but no one really knows about it. And
it's gotten notoriety,
and no studio will ever risk making that movie probably again unless they fund it themselves or they get lucky.
I don't know about that, dude. I don't know about that.
Because it had the horror thriller aspect, so they might take a risk like that.
They 100%.
But for
can take the risk like that because it's not that much money to make it.
That's
a break from making these $300 million movies.
But
they will be okay with taking 5 burns for every one paranormal.
What was the Rock movie where he was like in the tower on fire?
The skyscraper or some shit like that.
Let's say that was let's say just saying. Let's say it was 100 million. All the marketing
made like 250 or something.
Yeah, let's say you put another 50 million in the marketing. You lost a lot of money, and now the next project
didn't really make shit.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like that's the risk of like.
That's because you're paying a big ass star.
Hold on. So skyscraper budget was 125 million. It made 304 million worldwide.
What sucks about those budgets is marketing is never in there.
Because you got to think about the marketing prices too. Like
Pandorum, that movie's being pushed pretty heavily.
Like Pandorum was only I think like a budget of 30 million. The studio had nothing left to give, so they gave nothing to market, and no one saw that movie. Like
Pandora.
So it
Yeah,
was
I was
just
like one of the only fools who saw it in theaters.
it was like, because again, like you got to think of all the marketing, and then plus you also got
I
to
actually
think
don't know how Pandora was made because
like The
So
Rock might have a deal.
marketing is probably only what, $10 million, $20 million?
more, dude.
No,
No,
50
no,
50,
no.
for some of the big
Plus
movies,
tens.
dude.
It says here plus tens of millions spent marketing and distributing the picture. Let's see how
Depends on
much.
the movie. Like Avengers
Depends on the
probably
movie,
spent
sure,
50 to 100.
sure, but Avengers is making you $1 billion,
But like,
so you're gonna
but like
do the crap out
Paranormal, well, maybe what, $5 million
of
bucks?
a movie. Paranormal.
That's a
That's a
crazy
different
movie.
marketing tactic in general.
Almost like word of mouth viral, maybe.
Correct.
But still, they have spent at least. There were commercials for that, so I mean, there has to be at least $1 million behind it.
Yeah, but how many of those commercials were really different? It was like one commercial.
Well, yeah, it was like, come see the scariest shit on earth.
The average cost of a studio movie, I'm sorry, marketing cost of a studio movie is $36 million.
Damn,
still a lot of money.
that's just the average. It could be
So again,
5,
like,
10, it could be 100.
so if you have
Another average is
$100
27.
million budget, it goes to 180 now instead of 150. It's 180
What's
now.
kind of crazy is they never consider that number in the budget. Like they always just say, "Oh, this only cost us 100 million."
Yeah, which is, I guess, look good on paper, unless the movie flops and well, we spent this much on budget, so it's like, oh, okay, I see how it is.
That's where careers
But at
get
the end of the day,
burned.
that movie still made $300 million. So it made its money back and then some. And then now you
Paranormal?
have
But
no, we're talking about Skyscraper.
Oh, Skyscraper.
but there's a lot of other factors you got to put into it too. Like, did The Rock
But
get
if you spent $1 million and made 100, now that's a fucking beast right there.
That is a
Now you
beast,
have a
but-
franchise. Now you have,
But that's also my argument. I think that's your argument too, Frank, is that studios will take the risk on these little $1 million movies because they have
because they
nothing
can make
to lose.
10 of them and lose 10 million, and then if one of those 10 makes them 100, then they're like, shit, we came out on top. We don't give a shit.
I mean, that's what
like,
Netflix is.
again, like, I don't think
Look
that
at Fox
they
Searchlight.
don't
That's
take
what
a
it's made
risk.
for.
They go if it makes it, it doesn't. If it does, cool. Like, again, like, horror movies are usually by word of mouth or just the fact that it's a horror movie given in the right period of time. Like, are they gonna push like those movies? Are they gonna like make people want to go see it? No, they're gonna be like, hey, this is a horror movie. This is only good for like 1 month or a couple days. Go watch it. If we make a couple million, we're not gonna cry about it or something like that. Or like John Wick was a surprise. Like, that came out of nowhere. Now they push part 2 and 3 big time. But like the first one, like, it was like, hey, if it's a hit, cool. If it's not,
$75 million. Oh no, that's part 3.
No, that is part 3. God damn it.
John Wick
budget 20 to 30 million.
20 to 30. It only made 86 though. So
yeah.
But he quadrupled his money though. Or no.
But
3 times.
And he's also making 4 other movies.
But it was, you're right though. It was a surprise hit. I don't think it was on anybody's radar.
Yeah, it's not like the studio was like, hey, go watch this new great action film that's gonna change.
Not really, right? It wasn't like all in your face that much.
It was more like Keanu doing Keanu stuff because you can't get
that
into
was
big
in 2014. Holy shit.
That was a word of mouth movie. I probably only saw one trailer.
That's what I'm saying.
I didn't even go see it in theaters. I waited till video.
Like the studios will always need product, but they don't have faith in this stuff and they don't put it out. And then you don't make it a hit. If we don't make it a hit, we won't get something again for like another 10, 8, 6, 3 years because they're like, well, it made no money, so fuck it. That didn't work. Let's make another rom-com or let's make another super.
They are not afraid to burn stuff like the MonsterVerse. They're like, oh yeah, fucking MonsterVerse. And then as soon as they see one failure, they're like, oh shit, forget it.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, it's about making money for them. So if John Wick flopped,
film first,
we would have never. You know what I mean? Like,
we wouldn't be talking about Wesley Snipes and fucking John Wick 4.
Yeah,
right now.
Like it just would not be a thing, and it would be a movie that had so much potential that will
And a
never.
John Wick TV show, a John Wick video game, a John Wick 4, a John Wick 5. That's
So
crazy.
it's not having faith in projects. It's just going. We got lucky. We fell into it. Now we're gonna exploit the shit out of it. So.
Well,
I wonder.
wouldn't you say having faith is making the movie?
No.
But they still like micromanage it until it's released. Like, look at fucking Schumacher. They're like, no, don't do this man bat shit. What are you talking about? And then they're like, with Snyder, they're like, oh, dude, what do you mean?
I would say that's least faith in it because they want to steer a character like Batman in the right way. But something like John Wick, they didn't have to make that movie.
Yeah, I agree. I think they believed in Stileski, as an action guy. They were like, oh, he knows how to do action, so let's hope the action is good enough to carry it.
It was a word of mouth, so they didn't really give him 100% faith. It was more like we might have
made
something.
more money on DVD. The theater money wasn't that great, I don't think.
That's what I'm saying. Like they had faith. They're like, well, his track record, maybe we can stumble into something. Go ahead and make it. If it doesn't make money, we'll bury it. Fuck it. It is what it is. But like now that's a hit.
Keanu.
But now that's a hit. Oh, you from day one, this was gonna be an amazing film, and
would you like? Yeah, I was the one who said okay.
Yeah,
I was the one. I told them, yeah, do it. I believe in you. Aren't I a genius?
There are so many movies that had a lot of potential that didn't get word to mouth, and they're lost to time, or we'll never see something that should have come to push.
All the movies that came out that were considered shit, both commercially and critically, and now they're called hits. And now it's like, The Thing is my favorite example because it's my favorite movie.
Yeah,
but people hated that shit when it came out.
Now it's a cult classic.
Now people are like, oh, John Carpenter's the man. He's so great.
Even a movie like The Thing, though, that is still getting talked about, and that even got a sequel or prequel to it.
Yeah.
Because of the fans.
So I mean, that's not even a great.
That's why.
No, it's because of the fans. The reason why.
Look how quickly they abandoned The Thing after the prequel. They were just like, oh, fuck The Thing. We're not doing nothing else with The Thing. Fuck The Thing.
This is why studios
because that prequel wasn't really that good to begin with.
No, exactly.
I mean, there's only so much you could do.
But if it was, then we would have Thing TV shows. We'd have fucking Thing everything. So.
But instead, we get Thing inspired stuff.
Yeah. Well, that's another thing. It's like that's kind of cool. That's a kind of a cool side effect. Is like something that initially came out and didn't make money and nobody liked, but eventually does, and then it inspires new filmmakers. And then they're like, oh shit, I love this movie. I want to make something that makes me feel the same way as that. And then they sometimes are successful 1 out of 100 times.
House.
I don't know, Sonny. I feel like this is you just getting mad at the bigwigs, and
I don't even think he's mad. I think he's just like.
It's frustrating because again, like Blumhouse, I love the way that they do business is because they go, hey, we don't have a lot of money to give out, but we see we have passion for this project, or we see that you have something here. We're gonna do what we can to help you because we want to try to get as much things off the ground, like the Purge films, or I think they did Insidious, or I don't know if that was Ghostface or something like that, but like Blumhouse it like takes chances on horror films. Again, they don't have big budgets because they're very smart with their money, but they go, hey, we're gonna let you make this, let you make that, and we're gonna give you the chance to go ahead and do it.
And they discover Mike Flanagan, or they discover
and like horror films again, like horror films live in their own genre of stuff completely, where something could make $100 million off of $2 million because it came out at the right time for Halloween or something.
Split and Insidious. Wait, what? I'm reading this 13 best Blumhouse movies, and Get Out, Insidious, Split, and Halloween Resurrection are all on there.
Yeah.
I had no idea they produced all that.
Yeah. So, I mean, they do have They do have money then, because those are pretty big movies.
Yeah, those are huge.
Well, the budget.
And then they do a lot of small stuff. I mean, they've been doing a lot of Shyamalan, The Visit and Split.
Shyamalan Ding Dong. had
Hush was
20
good.
million.
That's
Us
not.
had 20 million.
What's crazy is that
Splits.
horror always finds a way to make 10 times its money back,
Because really, you don't need much for a
even
horror
if it's
movie.
garbage, because people will go out and see it. They don't care. They will
Split
go
was
see.
9 million budget.
Okay.
That was a good movie.
Well, okay.
Uh,
Let's see what Blumhouse's biggest budget was, because I am curious now. Blumhouse.
Creep, Upgrade,
trying to look for Halloween.
Halloween.
Biggest.
Halloween. I really want them to release the new one.
Well, wait for Halloween Halloween to come out.
Sinister was okay. Oculus, I don't remember it being good, but I could be wrong.
I like that.
Dude, Blumhouse did Paranormal. No wonder. That makes a lot of sense now.
Hmm.
That's why they can do these big, giant movies now.
They did The Invisible Man. I mean,
Dude, Paranormal Activity is like once in a fucking lifetime.
No, because we had the Blair Witch Project.
15 grand, dude, and what it spawned from $15,000. That's
Yeah.
fucking insane.
That itself was marketing.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
That was just smart. That was
I
really
mean, they
smart.
borrowed somebody's house who
For
already
a low
owned
price.
that house, and paid these actors like $2,000 a piece. They're like, hey, let's go do this.
Yeah, dude. So I'm seeing 7 million. I bet Glass is going to have the
Man,
highest budget.
Serious.
Okay.
Man, Glass was so bad.
Glass was 20 million.
Okay.
20. Surprised Bruce didn't ask for 20 himself. Fucking
I think
guy.
he actually likes Shyamalan in the movie, so he's like, "Yeah, I'll do it for these price," which is weird to think. But
Like, fucking
again, like that's really smart, and also making having those budgets are more manageable, allows you to do different things, because again, like you put all your eggs in one basket.
But these are also horror films that don't need big budgets.
yeah, not always. Yeah, I mean, usually not. I would say
These are all horror films. If we're using
that's the thing.
Blumhouse as
Sure.
one.
Yeah, but again, I'm talking about Blumhouse in general, of them knowing what they are, and how to move that cash around smartly, and be like, hey, we can do this here, we do this here, we do that there, and that's how you do it. Like, well, again, like there's so many different studios or different productions that come out that put all their money in one movie, and then they go bankrupt because they didn't make any cash back on it. Like, not everyone could be Marvel and spend those crazy budgets all the time and get it back, no problem. A lot of studios have to be smart, but they want the Marvel money, so they try to go all out way too fast, and then they screw themselves over.
They greenlight stuff based on stupid parameters. They're like, oh, this has potential to be a universe. And it's like, yeah, but it's a piece of shit that nobody's gonna care about.
Yeah.
You know, or it has terrible acting, or it has shoddy CGI, and it's like you have to. I don't even know. We really went on a big tangent here.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But it's really interesting, though. I mean, it's cool stuff. It's just interesting with it. The cuts really made me kind of think, like, I don't know, man. Like, stuff is just so different with both those industries. I was talking about games at first, movies too.
Yeah.
And now it's
right,
like,
well,
how do they even justify making something on Netflix now? Like, how do they make money on that? I still don't understand that.
They don't make money.
Right? I'm saying, like, I don't think they do.
They're just trying to
Like,
outlast
how can
everyone.
you gain more subscribers when you have like half the country already?
Yeah. It's a waiting game. It's like we can outlast Hulu, we can outlast all of them. We just need to stay on top as long as we can until they're either not around, or we have to buy them out. Just to
Or
wait.
they get purchased, and then all their debt gets cleared.
Yeah. So.
And anyway, we went pretty long on that, but it's interesting to talk about.
Oh yeah, I love this kind of stuff. So if anyone wants to talk about it offline, either or Instagram, whatever, let me know.
And there's always those examples that throw a wrench and everything, but those are flukes. I mean, not flukes, but like those are pretty rare.
They're flukes. I mean, like a good fluke, but it's a fluke.
Yeah. It's like you can't repeat that. There's no way to like repeat that reliably.
Yeah, it's hard. So, well, that's
All right,
the end of
let's get into our nerd outs.
Let's get
Let's,
let's get into it.
oh shit, we got a nerd up.
Mine's really quick. If you want me to just knock mine out in 1 minute.
Sure.
Yeah, do it.
Chivalry 2. I'm still playing it. I find myself going to it whenever I have an hour or two of free time. And you can have 64-player battles or 48-player battles. There are 8 maps in total. There's some really cool ones like a castle. There's like a town square. There's a fighting pit with spikes at the bottom in the middle. There's a lot of variation there. The combat's really fun. It can get frustrating if you kind of suck and you're just button mashing. So you really need to learn how to parry and how to dodge and how to use all the mechanics to fight. And once you do, it gets a lot more fun because I've had like parrying battles with people where we're like clinging swords like 5 times before somebody goes down. Because we're just perfectly timing everything, and then somebody tries to kick somebody or somebody tries to you can always throw your primary weapon because you always have a secondary weapon. So like if you have a big axe, you could just decide to whip it at somebody's head and kill them. And then you pull out your secondary weapon, you keep fighting with that. And you can also pick up anything on the battlefield. So if you're in the middle of like a 20-on-20 battle, there's always a weapon on the ground you can pick up. So it's just been a lot of fun, and it's a lot better than I thought it was going to be. I've sunk a lot of hours. I probably have to say like 6-7 hours by now. Like at night when I'm have a couple an hour of free time, I'll play. And there's a lot of classes. There's four main classes, and then each of those has 3 under it. So there's 12 total, and then each of those 12 has up to 4 weapons each. So there's a lot of variations. You could do shields, you could do big giant axes, you could do one-handed weapons, all that kind of stuff. So having a lot of fun with it. It's $40, like I said last week. If you like medieval combat and cutting people's heads off and blood and I think it's funny. A lot of times, a lot of funny things will happen. Like somebody will catapult themselves and just smash against the wall, or you'll be dueling somebody and then you kick them and they fall into the pit. It's just so funny. Or random arrows will fly and you're dueling with this guy and he'll just get an arrow in his face and he just dies, and there's a lot of chaos to it. So it's just funny and pretty fun. That's it, man. I've just been playing it a lot and I find myself going back to it. So I'm having fun and just laughing and stupid shit happens.
Can you beat somebody with chicken?
Yeah, anything you can find. I don't know if I've seen a chicken yet, but you could grab a lettuce and just throw it at somebody. You could punch. You could throw. You could pick up a barrel, and if somebody's trying to climb a ladder up your castle, you could just throw a barrel down, smacks them in the head, and they fly off.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. It's just funny. Oh, and everybody has an ability, so you can get this oil pot and throw it down and it shoots a bunch of fire out, or you could get a trumpet and it gives a boost to everybody. If you're using a shield character, you could whip your shield at somebody's head and knocks them down, and then you can go up and kill them. But what's fun is there's objectives too. So you could be on the storming side of a castle, so you have to push your ramps, and then you have to push up your ladders. Then you have to get to the middle. Then you have to. It's a progression thing where you have to push through. It's not all just killing. But it's cool because, like I said, you can have up to 64 players, so you can have some really big battles. And then you could have there might be a castle gate, and the enemy's trying to break it down, and then they do. And then there's a wall of defenders and a wall of attackers, and they're all just killing each other in the middle, and it's really fun. So, been having fun with it. That's all I've really been doing.
Nice, simple. Just kill people.
Yep. Just swinging swords. That's it.
Nice. I'll knock out mine real quick. I'll save one for next week. I watched the Bastards of Baseball on Netflix. This was a story back in the 90s. Yeah, 80s or 90s. Um, uh, Hey, Kurt Russell has an interesting life, and I just want to sit down and talk with him about it because he's an interesting motherfucker. His dad, being um, Russell, was an actor. He was all this kind of stuff, but he loved baseball. Like I love baseball. This man loves baseball. Holy shit! So he decided one day, hey, you know what? Uh, I think it was Portland. Yeah, the AAA team is gone now, so I'm gonna independently fund my own baseball team, and they were actually really good. They were AAA, and they were the only independent team left in baseball, in all forms, single, double, triple A, and the first the first official game that they ever played, they won 4-0, and the pitcher threw a no hitter in the very first game. And these guys were a bunch of outcasts and losers. They weren't picked to go to to the majors. They were guys that were past their prime, and they came together and they made this magical three. I think it was a 3 season run. It was just people loved them. They loved watching them. Kurt Russell was actually on the team too for a year or two. And at the end they throw little fun facts like the guy that made Big League Chew actually played on that team, and as soon as the team was dissolved, he actually went out and made Big League Chew, made a lot of money like right out of the gate with that stuff. If you love baseball, if you love more than just baseball, if you love like underdog stories, like again, I think a lot of movies, I won't say are based off of these guys, but they definitely follow the formula of being unconventional and just being different and being fun. Because like this team, the Mavericks, they actually focus more on fun. They talk about like the Yankees or like these teams where like they had to have like you had to have a certain haircut, you had to have a certain length of your socks, you had to look a certain way, you had to act a certain way, you couldn't say things. And on the Mavericks, they're like, man, fuck that. We're gonna dress how we want, look how we want. We're gonna have crazy hair, big old mustaches, big goatees, whatever. Be little, they have like dad bod for days for everyone, but they didn't care because they played for the love of the game, and that gets lost a lot throughout the years. It's about money and
Hmm.
trades, and like oh, this coach didn't win one season, can him. Like these guys played for the love of it because they knew this was like their only chance and last chance to ever play baseball, and it was just it was a really cool documentary. It's short too. I think it's like an hour 20 minutes, hour 30.
So their main like purpose was just because they loved it, and
Yeah.
they were just good enough to actually compete.
Yeah, and it was funny 'cause, like the last season before they broke up, the major leagues were actually sending guys down from the major leagues down to AAA just to beat them, and they couldn't beat them still.
Hmm.
That was fun.
That's
So
hilarious.
yeah,
These
these
dad
guys,
bod drinking beer motherfuckers.
they're fucking off. I was like, damn, I've never heard of this. And Kurt Russell, you're awesome.
Surprised they
Fuck.
haven't made an actual movie.
I
Right.
mean, the replacements,
Right, right. But
my
I mean,
God.
like, correct.
I mean,
Based
like, but like, yeah, like actually based off this film, it is surprising, but it's the
on
formula
me
for all
starting
sports
to think about the replacement.
movies. So,
It looks
I
interesting. I'm watching the trailer in mute right now.
yeah,
Looks pretty cool.
like I said, it's more than just about that one last chance to be to do the thing you love. So
Yeah.
if you love underdog stories, it's on Netflix.
And for me, it's like, you guys know I'm not a sports guy, but anything that transcends that, like Rocky, like replacements, this
Mhm.
sounds like it would be up that alley for somebody who's not, a fanatic.
Yeah, it was so cool. I I thoroughly enjoyed it. So that's my nerd out.
All right.
Cool.
Well, I have a couple of nerd outs. No video games, unfortunately. My first nerd out is that I watched Nobody, and it
Nice.
was pretty darn fun to watch. Very John Wick ish, but we kind of already knew that going in. Um, but it still had like more of a fun feel to it, where John Wick was very, very serious. This one was serious to a certain degree, but still, I mean, had a lot of fun. A lot of action in it. Not a lot of scenes where like, oh damn, but there were some oh damn scenes for sure. But very good. I think out of 10, I would give it a 7 out of 10. Definitely
7?
would watch. Yeah, definitely would
Cool.
watch it again. And I think it's going to be even more as you watch it too. So
I've been wanting to see this. I'm glad to hear it's pretty good.
yeah, very good movie, man. Very good movie.
Nice.
Maybe the sequels I don't think will be as good as John Wick's, because as the characters get introduced, you're like, oh, okay, this is where it kind of loses it. Where John Wick was just really John Wick. His supporting cast was there, but when he went to battle, it was only really John Wick. Not to, I don't want to give too much away, but not with this movie. What was I going to say? Other than that, just watching a couple shows, kind of like jumping around shows. So I saw half of the first episode of Sweet Tooth. Have you guys heard of this show on Netflix?
I heard of it. I think it was a comic, right?
Yep, it was a DC comic. Robert Downey Jr.'s production team is a part of it. Basically, there is, and I caught a very quick glimpse of it because Violet's actually the one who started watching it, and I was like, Sweet Tooth. I heard about this. I don't know what it is. And she was like, oh, yeah, it just came out. But she made it seem like it came out this year, like earlier in the year. But no, it recently came out, I think.
It's really
basically
recent.
There's a virus, and I was like, oh, of course there's a virus. But
Yeah,
there's a virus. It's kind of killing everybody. It's the most deadly virus. And then out of nowhere, these hybrids come up. So these babies that are half human, half animal start popping up. They're born, and no one knows why they're born. I can only imagine the show is going to share more about that story.
Yeah.
Pretty good. Pretty good. I haven't gotten
I've been wanting to see it, yeah.
Tugging on your heartstrings or anything like that. Just got like the bare premise of the story. Other than that,
how much have you seen? Like a couple episodes or?
No, like maybe almost the end of episode 1. I've watched more Friend episodes than this one for sure. Friends is now my like go to sleep show.
Yeah.
Like I'll watch 2 or 3 of them before I knock out, just because of HBO Max. And I'm actually having a lot of fun watching Friends. Like I always said, I was one of that guys like, I'm not gonna watch Friends. That's a girls' show. That's
not for
whatever.
Me, all that. Yeah.
It's not for me. It's not my kind of humor. Blah 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 blah. No, it's pretty fucking funny, and every character has its own little kind of little gag. I like Phoebe a lot, which is surprising because when I would watch the show a little bit, she was the most annoying, but she's actually the ones with the most jokes and the funniest jokes.
Yeah.
So that one I've been having a lot of fun with, but that's kind of like my relax, lay down. Let's just unwind.
I used to do that, man. I used to prefer to fall asleep with something like that on in the background.
I used to do that a lot with the CW shows. Like Will and Grace back in the day, or 2.5 Men, something like that. Or if we want to take it way back, Nick at Night.
Yeah.
Yep. So I used to do that a lot.
Keeping that alive. Shows. Well, that's a TV. That's a whole TV station you can create, make millions of dollars, sell it to a big corporation, and then live on the beach.
Yeah. And then after that, I have been buying way too much stuff. Like I have to relax.
Me too, dude.
I'm even now a gun for hire because I have gotten Frank a couple figures that were hard to find. What'd I get you? I got you Anakin.
Yep.
And Obi-Wan. Anakin from Target, and the Obi-Wan from Target.
And today you were like, hey, do you like these figures? Because I have 6 of each.
And then today, so we filmed this on Friday. I don't want to say that because some people don't like scalpers. I'm not trying to do that, but yes, I am. No, I'm not. I don't know what I'm trying to do.
Professional full timer.
So basically, Walmart today came out, or today's Friday. We're recording this on Friday. They came out, of course, with a Rex figure. I think we've called that out. A Rex figure that we've seen in episode. What episode are we on for Bad Batch right now? 7, 8?
Well, he was back in like 2, no? When he came around.
It was just last episode.
Yeah, just last episode.
Oh, was it? Jesus.
Yeah.
So just last episode, he had his like garb on and all that, and of course they released a figure of him with his garb. On there.
And another one that ties in. Yeah.
They released Crosshairs, but in his Empire armor. So I got a couple of those. I'm teaming up with my neighbor. Got me a Luke Skywalker in like the old school cardboard back.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm talking about? Like the figures that we grew up with, kind of. Like I'm a sucker for those figures.
Like the 4-inch.
No, they're 6,
there.
but they come in like the card stock.
Oh, okay. Almost like the Spider-Man retro.
Correct. Yeah, the retro figures. Yeah, and I'm a sucker for them. So I'll take a figure.
But you can't open them. So those are like horrible for me because I open everything.
And I got some like from Best Buy, and one of the battle droids is kind of messed up. But I kind of told myself, you know what? I'm just gonna probably return these figures because I don't really need them. I just wanted Qui-Gon Jinn, which I got. And I'll probably return the other ones. But Mace Windu looks cool. I even got a fucking Jar Jar Binks, dude. Like that's how bad it's getting. I got a Jar Jar Binks figure.
Damn.
But yeah, I just calm me down. I got into Pops. I already said that.
Oh my God.
That's a
Pop.
Yeah.
The Godzilla?
No, the Spider-Man one, which is actually up here. Yeah, let me get him.
Get him.
He's a... Oh no. He's a blacklight one.
Oh, this one.
Nice.
You even got a protector sleeve. Look at you, man.
It came with the protector sleeve. I'm like, oh
okay.
no. And I even taped it up and all that.
I know. I love that wave, man. I mean, that idea. Even the zombie ones are really cool. I wish I had room and everything.
So I will have to admit, Pops, I'm more in the kind of the
That
business
is cool,
of
that is
buying
really cool.
one and being in like an investment kind of thing.
Yeah.
That's what I'm doing with those Pops.
Well, like you saw, that Ghost Rider went crazy and everything.
Yeah, dude, that's what really sold me. And now, I'm doing my own thing to try to find like the inside track. I almost bought Pokemon cards, but I canceled those.
So ridiculous nowadays. It's not even.
I cancel those because I'm like, I don't know if they're gonna sell, and I think they did. They were selling pretty well, but I don't know. I'm fine with that. But that's it. That's my.
What's sad is like it's not even little kids being able to buy them anymore. It's just these adult scalpers and assholes.
Well,
which sucks.
Technology is what gets you.
But I mean, they're the ones with the money, right? I remember I scrounged together a bunch of change, bought a first pack at 7-Eleven one day, back in what, 94, 96?
Yeah.
I bought back
they were
there
like $8 a pack,
every
maybe,
time.
or
No,
packs?
they're like $3.75, something like that.
Oh, you're right.
And
yeah,
then,
that's what they are now. They're $4 now.
And then I would, every time I could scrounge $3.75, go back to 7-Eleven, buy another pack. But it's like so crazy now. I mean, people are fighting, and Target's like, no, we're not selling cards no more.
Now they are selling cards again, which is funny.
But now they have a hired card right in front of them every time.
I would buy my card. I think it's calming down because there's a couple times that I've been to Target looking for Black Series figures or any kind of figures in general.
What's crazy is like Hot Wheels people are out there and like fucking G.I. Joe people.
Oh, dude. So it's funny because I went to go look for these figures and I'm just scourging around the area to see if there's anyone that left anything. And I look by the Hot Wheels section and there's these like old guys.
Yeah.
Like there's an old guy just looking at figures.
Like
I'm
mean
like,
mugging,
man.
like, get the fuck out of here, dude.
No. Like he was in the zone, dude. Like he was looking for his figure. No, I'm sorry. He wasn't even in the zone. He was doing regular shopping and he passed by the Hot Wheels section to see if there was maybe a chase car
That's
or
like
something
us,
like
dude.
that.
pass by, see
Yeah,
if there's a
and that's
legend or
what
something.
I thought was kind of funny. Is like, oh man, that's probably how I look. But let me see what I got.
That
Like,
is
dude,
funny.
I did so many pre-orders now, especially on Amazon.
Oh my god.
Um, so
I just I did a couple pre-orders today on Walmart for Avatar.
I have a Godzilla, the Mech Godzilla pop coming because I got a regular Godzilla. I got Ultron, a Marvel Legend. I
Oh, that
got
one looks
Doctor
good actually.
Doom, a Marvel Legend. A fucking Charizard pop that they just
I
released.
saw that one. Yeah.
Um,
Sandman. Did you pre-order Sandman?
I did not get Sandman, I don't think.
Oh man.
And then I got this four pack of 3.75-inch figures, 3-inch figures.
Damn.
They're called
Doing
Bad
various
Batch.
scales now. Look at you.
Dude, yeah. It's just I see that these go for so much. I'm like, I'm just gonna go for it, dude. But
They
like
really
these
do.
guys,
Oh, okay.
um,
Those like
Rex came in there, so I'm like, oh, maybe I'll keep it because of Rex.
yeah.
But
Rex is just so damn popular.
it's just way too much, and especially Amazon because they don't charge you until it ships. So,
Yeah, that's always the best.
so I'm like,
I
ah.
don't pay anybody in advance. I'm like, dude, I'll pay you when you ship it.
The only one there is someone that charges in advance. Oh God, that scared the crap out of me.
GameStop does, I believe.
I don't shop from GameStop because I don't like their shipping.
Yeah, they suck, man. I've had to
Yeah.
cancel stuff from them before because I'm like, dude, you guys are
Yeah.
not doing this right.
All right. Well, I'm done with that. We could kind of go into Loki and Bad Batch and all that going in. So,
So I give you spiel. I'm gonna use the restroom really quick.
Sure. Oh, he turned the camera off. I guess he's gonna piss in the kitchen. I guess. So, we're about to get into spoiler talks for Bad Batch and Loki episode 2. So if you haven't watched them, pause this thing, go watch them, come back. If you're not gonna watch it or you're gonna wait for more episodes to drop, we'll see you next week when we do more spoiler talks. Otherwise, you've been warned. Don't get mad at me or anyone else here because you didn't listen. So leave now. Thank you. Thank you for listening though. So we'll see you next week.
so I think we should probably start with Loki. Oh man, it's hard. No, you know what? I think we should start with Bad Batch. I
Well,
don't
yeah.
know.
I think the Bad Batch is simple, straightforward. It's another
Yes. I
action-based
think
one,
we
but
all like Bad Batch.
yes,
So I think we should start with Bad Batch.
yes. It picks up right where we left off for the last episode. They're still on the shipwreck planet. They're actually scavenging for materials to pay off their debt, so they can be free from that. And then Crosshairs and his I don't know the terms, military terms. It's like a battle platoon or a squadron or whatever it is. He had like 3 ships of men come over to hunt the Bad Batch and kill him, and to I think kill Omega too. So they land, they're doing their thing, and they start fighting, and the action's really good. It's actually really good. Bad Batch are really smart. It helps being enhanced like that. Tech being so smart, he just come up with a solution to a problem on the fly. Just got to give him a few minutes. Try to think if there's any significant stuff that happened, like dialogue wise between them, besides them trying to convince Crosshairs there's a chip in his head that it's not him doing this stuff. I think it's all pretty much straightforward. Did I miss anything so far? Anything
No, I
important?
don't think so.
Okay. The big thing, the guys over at the water planets of clones, Camino, they hired another bounty hunter, and this one is really good at his fucking job. He's one of the best bounty hunters I've ever seen.
Oh yes, my boy.
Who is your boy?
Cad Bane wasn't much work. Hand over the kid. Oh man, I love the standoff that we got in this episode. God, that was good.
That music changed real fast to like
Yeah.
special real fast. It's like,
Yep.
like, oh shit, it just got real
Did
guys. Shit
Did
just
you
got real.
think he was going to win?
Yeah. I mean,
Him?
he's
Yeah.
just too
Oh
damn
yeah,
good.
hands down.
He
Hands
barely
down.
won though, because usually the guy can't even get it out of the holster.
Mhm.
And
I won't
what's
say
his name
barely
even got a
one,
shot
but
off.
he gave him a run for his money. He blew up his robot's leg
Yeah.
or his it's like shit.
Better than getting shot himself.
He's like, well, if you're gonna get shot off, might as well just hit the robot.
I'm such a sucker for Western types. So I mean, I have the Black Series Cad Bane.
Oh yeah, I
I
mean
love
the
him.
guy's awesome. So after the Bad Batch are getting hunted by Crosshair, still they're able to pull off some tomfoolery and buy
Hmm.
himself just some time.
That
Hunter
was such a
goes,
cool like set piece too.
yeah. So Hunter goes ahead with Omega to jump on the ship to pick up Tech Wrecker and Echo, but they just see a bunch of clone troopers just lying around, just dead. They're like, "What
Yeah.
happened to these guys?" And
I
he
like how
got that.
they're still weaving in small character moments, like when Wrecker is pretending like the defusal is a real live bomb, and when Tech is like unable to emotionally describe what the war was like to Omega.
Yeah,
He's just kind of like, oh, well, technically, this group was fighting this group, and they just fought a lot. It's like, well, yeah, but what was it like? That's
I
not really
will
what it
say
was like.
Tech is kind of getting super annoying for me
really?
He was like your
because
favorite for a
yeah,
while.
he was, but like the simple thing where they turn on the ship and it starts beeping. Oh, it's probably a malfunction, and then all these ships fly
Mm,
by. Or like, come on, dude. And then the other thing
I
too
found
is
that
like
dumb too.
he didn't call out that Wrecker's chip was going off because it was hurting him. Like it was holding it in the same spot that
It's
the
like
chip
you're the
was
tech
going.
guy. Come on, dude.
Yeah, so those little things are kind of like annoying the crap out of me.
Hmm.
Quickly, I am becoming um, charmed by Omega, and I actually really do like Omega and like her curiosity and stuff like that. Like when she kind of going what you're going with is she was like, "Well, tell me more about the war. How was the war like?" and stuff
Hmm.
like that. That's actually really I'm finding that super interesting.
I guess what's cool about her is that she will force story things to happen
Oh,
Mhm.
she's cool
by
enough. Huh?
asking about them and stuff like that.
She's her-
No, because that's one bright
No,
side of her, but like I still don't really like her character because she's more of like a just a plot device rather than a character, in my opinion. Like it's an excuse to explain something that wouldn't normally be explained, you know what I mean? Like or wouldn't normally happen.
yeah, but also Tech is like that too. He'll wipe things under the rug, and I mean, he could have he couldn't fix Wrecker, but we could have been they could have been safer with Wrecker since like
Like
episode one
got through it
or
sooner
episode
or something.
whenever he hit his head. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
that was weird because I don't know if they just didn't put it into the story because he was working on the device to test the chips, but I think either they just didn't bring it back up or they forgot about it because never hear from it again. But like he came up with the idea and they both kind of came up with the assumption. Okay, so it's safe to say that we've gone this long without the chip going off. It's safe to say theoretically we should be fine. You know,
They also said the farther away they are, the safer they are. I think as well.
yeah. So it's like okay, so we can off all the information we have, Tech is like, well, I think we should be fine. Again,
Yeah.
I'd like to because I think it would be weird to think that a chip has a physical on button that you can not a physical on button, but just to I guess to kind of like build the image that you can hit your head and turn it on by accident. It would be kind of foolish to think like we're soldiers, we get hit in the head all the time. Why would that turn on? But that's
That
just
is that is interesting, yeah.
because again, like again, like they wrote it in the story. He made a tester. They never bring it up again. I don't know if the writers just decide not to bring it, or like, we don't really need it, or they're gonna use it for later. I don't know, but
I gotta say one thing I never noticed was the audio before. And today I was listening with AirPods, which thanks to Manny, I got some because I've always listened with crappy headphones. And today I was like, damn, dude, like this, not only are the visuals so awesome, but the sound is so freaking good. Like there was a part where they were driving away and something fell off the back and the sound just sounded really realistic, like as if it fell and it fell like far away from you. So like the audio design to me, I finally picked up on that. Because usually
Well,
I'm
that's
just listening
also
to it on speaker or like one headphone in at a time. It's like,
yeah.
it's not really the best.
That's also goes to show that if you spend a little extra money on good headphones, you'll get out of it what you need. So,
but this was like the first time I was like, holy shit, these were worth it. I got the spatial awareness and shit, and like when the engine turned on, it was the bass was really good. So, listen to this on high quality speakers, kids. I was like Omega. I was like, ooh, these headphones, how do they work? I was like, they're so good.
Is that your Australian accent?
Yeah, it was like a terrible accent.
I don't know what that was.
The whole I finally I was relieved when I saw the little clip, or not the clip, but the little thumbtack or thumbnail or whatever they do, and I saw Crosshairs in there. I'm like, thank God, we're gonna start seeing some action now. So I was excited with that.
It's called Reunion
Crosshairs,
or something like that, right?
Yeah, Crosshairs has his little origin story going on, because now he's figured like every good bad guy in Star Wars lore. So he's ready to go, and he even had like a little Darth Vader noise going on.
Yeah, when he got burned.
So now, yeah, he got burned. He got burned. So yeah, anything else we want to point out in this show or anything?
No, I'm just glad they finally got to meet again. But now it's kind of like they're not going to see Crosshair for another 5 episodes while they go chase Cat Bane or something.
Yeah, I mean, what do you want to say, Sonny?
No, it's funny because Bane's gonna bring him back to the clone people, alien fish people, and Crosshair's going there too. So that'll be kind of interesting to see how that works out. If they go to offsite, because do those fish people leave ever, or did they just live there?
I don't think so.
No, they live there.
So it's like, okay, so Bane's just gonna be like, hey guys, killed a bunch of your guys. Sorry, here's this little bitch. Get out of here, leave. I don't care.
There's something about her though. They really want her back.
Oh yeah, it's all.
And also, he's the I can't think of their names for whatever reason. The aliens hired Bane in confidence, so it's not like he's going to show up in the front door and be like, "Here." I think they're going to probably meet up.
It's crazy how confident this son of a bitch is. He's just standing there, like leaning against the wall, and he's just like, like hand her over.
So,
he's like,
he's not my absolute favorite character from Clone Wars. I just know there's a huge following behind him, so I got excited when he showed up, because I even was like, oh.
It's cool because the Fione stuff comes back and your nostalgia comes back.
Yeah. It's not much nostalgia for me because I just watched it, but he did have some good episodes.
Yeah.
Like he was taking the Force baby kids and giving them to the Emperor and stuff like that. So I'm kind of glad that he doesn't really care about anything. He just wants to get paid, and that's it.
Yeah.
I don't know. He has his cool moments with it for sure.
Right.
So I'm glad he's back.
It was cool when they did the music and all the sound effects. It's great. I was like, yes, Mexican standoff.
Yeah. Anything else we want to bring up?
I'm just still really enjoying it. This was, to me, finally brought it back to like high enjoyability. I was still enjoying it, but this was like another level for me.
Interesting.
Because things were starting to progress, and then Cad showed up.
What makes it interesting, Sonny?
I mean, this is what the past 3 episodes or couple episodes have been, just great action piece with little hints of stuff like that. It's probably just because of the Bane thing for him, but it's like I'm super enjoying it. I'm like, oh, okay. I mean, I'm glad you are enjoying it. It just
Yeah.
like this is just another great,
It's
solid
just
action episode that was
because it
just
felt like
well.
side stories and fillers. That's why. So I was like, oh, finally Crosshair's back. Finally, we're progressing things here. Like somebody took Omega, and bigger things are occurring. Rather than, oh, we got to stop over here and pay this guy because
they're
he
not
gave us
getting
free
away
gas.
now. They always got away, it seemed like. Now they're not getting away. Yeah, I hear you.
Stuff like that.
The story is progressing as it goes.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Slowly but sure.
5 more episodes, I believe.
I think only 5 more?
I believe so. Yep. Because
sad.
this is 8 or 7.
I think this was 7.
Oh, I haven't been right yet, so I don't know.
I'll tell you right
now. While he finds that, we're pretty much in all agreement that we really enjoyed this episode. We're enjoying the Bad Batch. It was a little dicey there at the beginning, where like if we want to do this weekly, but it is very solid. It's very good. It still has its roots, action and pacing, so it's a good thing.
We are on episode 8.
Episode 8. Yeah, we got nothing else to add. Let's go ahead and jump into the hotly debated topic of the week. Loki episode 2 or this, however you wish to pronounce it. Yeah, so Manny really liked it. Frank was okay. He enjoyed it, and I thought it was boring. But let's get into it.
I'm in it for the long haul. Like, you're not going to get much from this episode.
Isn't there only 6?
It's starting to build up. It doesn't need the 2-episode release like WandaVision did, because I mean, a lot of people that kind of went through above people's heads about the whole Bewitched kind of homage, or the old school 50 show homage and all that.
Yeah. I've been more entertained by the other 2 shows, and I think this one's too long. Those are my major issues with it.
I'm good with it because everything that I'm reading about it, it's really going to start messing things up in the multiverse. And as we saw in the last episode, in the last couple of minutes of it, that really just tore stuff up. And then he just ran away.
Again.
So I'm good with it, man. I'm good with it. Basically, now Loki is working with the TVA. And I think Marvel does a great job on explaining different things that are going on, like the charges and things like that. And they do it in a way where Loki's actually like doing training. And so he's getting quizzed on. And so we kind of hear his answer for it, which is the correct answer. And that's how we start learning for stuff. But they're just trying to find the other variant, the Loki variant.
I like how they showed that there was other ones too. Like a little one, a big one.
Yeah, and that's where I think this is actually Loki and not like someone pretending to be Loki, like some of the theories out there.
Yeah. Well, he even explained his powers too, which was kind of feeds into that.
You find out that this Loki likes to hide out in big apocalyptic parts of history. And it's interesting because if you read in between the lines, if you're not paying attention to it, I guess this is where it could be kind of boring. But if you actually have this on your screen and you're actually trying to pay attention to everything, there's a lot of nice little things. Like they categorize different apocalyptic events, like 1 through 10. I think Asgard, when that blew up, that was a 7. If I'm not mistaken, the one at the end with Alabama, that was like a 1 or something like that.
Like the storm, right? You're talking about?
Yeah.
Where did they show? Did they show it like on the screen, or did somebody say it out loud?
No, it was just on paper.
Oh, okay.
Basically, what they're saying is that Um,
Like how much impact it would have on the overall
no,
timeline.
no, the Loki variant hides in times and space where, or in timelines where that specific thing or area is wiped out. Like there's no one alive. It was all meant to be just destroyed, leveled, because there's no one else to mess around with the timeline since it's gonna end. So that's why they went to Pompeii. They went to this place
Right.
here
Like no
because Asgard.
survivors.
Yeah, because Asgard it erupted, but the people still survived. So
But
that
even with
wouldn't.
that, like there's different levels. That's what I was trying to say. Is there's different levels of apocalyptic events. Like the one that happened in Alabama isn't the same level as the one that happened in Asgard, and you only see that kind of just reading on the papers on screen, and that's what I kind of appreciated with that stuff.
Well, it was on paper, but they also explain it too. I mean, because because that's how Loki comes to the realization that the variant's hiding in these places and then when they go to Pompeii, they go there to specifically test out the theory that the timeline has to end. So you can mess around with this timeline because it ends. There's nothing to change since there's an end spot to it. There's no
And also, like, they can't detect, right? They can't
correct.
detect anything
Yeah,
there.
since everything is meant to be destroyed anyways, you can mess with the timeline. You can tell them that hey, I'm from the future and all this and that, and it's not gonna matter because they're all dead anyways.
Yeah.
So it was and so it was like kind of cool, but so I don't know. And I guess I kind of had a problem with. I don't know what they're trying to do with Loki. I don't know because I'm tired of this sympathetic villain stuff and trying to make him. He was always a good guy, and they even show it in the record books of himself. He's like, I forgot how many people died because of him, and he starts crying like, oh, I'm like, then why did you do it in the first place? Like the more I think about it, it's like you're really just trying to make this shitty crybaby villain who was a good villain trying to.
What happened?
I think we lost him. Oh, there he is.
Why is he so shitty? I mean, I think he's got layers, man.
Yeah, you need layers.
I mean,
Feels bad about things. I mean,
he had layers in Thor 3. That's why when he dies in Infinity Wars, he dies basically an Avenger and like hey, because again like in Thor 3 he actually goes out of his way to save his people. Again, he comes back, brings the ship, saves them. He's able to redeem himself in some way, and then he sacrifices himself so Thor get away, and he dies. And like that's I'm not the biggest fan of like people having to die to be to forgive all your sins, but it worked with this taking him out of that scenario. He doesn't get that chance to do all that now, and he's just and again like.
But he might.
But this is also a different Loki.
We don't know yet.
No,
this is a Loki that didn't go and live through all that stuff. This is a Loki that actually saw his future. So that messes with you
Kind of
differently.
like Gamora, right?
Oh,
she didn't
that's why
grow to love Peter Quill.
Because he quote unquote messed with the timelines and he's doing something he wasn't supposed to do. So that is the Loki. It's just because
I don't think so. I think it's a different Loki.
No.
Yeah.
Because
But he has different experiences, so it's like
correct. Like he's not the superior Loki right now. The Loki that we had in our timeline, in the secret timeline, you could say he was superior.
No, this is that Loki.
But he only lived up to Avengers 1. The other one,
because the Avengers came back in time, dropped the Tesseract, and he got away. And again, the variant of them having to do that. Again, this is why it doesn't make any sense. But that's the Loki because he looked at his future where he dies and all the stuff that happens in Thor 3. It's not someone else's memory; it's his future.
Well, what's interesting is that Loki brings it up too. He's like, "Why was it okay for the Avengers to do this?" And then they were like, "Well, because it was supposed to."
And that was my big argument of last week. That then why wasn't him getting the Tesseract and disappearing part of the plan? Because if he didn't get it, they wouldn't go back in time.
I guess it was an accident as part of their maybe not every detail is planned, only certain things.
But if they were meant to get to where they were and everything had to happen the way it happened for them for the event.
I mean, it's like it's just stupid. It's like, that's not covered. It's not gonna
Also,
be
who
addressed.
says the TVA doesn't go there and just erase it because Loki got away? But that Loki got away, and that's why he's arrested. But the TVA probably went to that dimension and erased that part of the timeline
or whatever.
Yeah, and bombed it. So now that Loki basically came back, but now this variant is.
I think elsewhere. We don't know everything,
We don't. We 100% don't. But I strongly do believe that this isn't the same Loki that we get at the end of what's the last one he was at? Infinity War. Granted, I see what you're saying with that, but he didn't live through everything that he did. He didn't fight with Thor.
Doesn't matter because he saw his own future played out in the first episode.
He saw the highlights of his future, but he didn't think about like the scheming and stuff like that.
But that is
but like Loki, if you saw your own future and you're like, in 30 years I'm gonna die because of something stupid.
Are you the same person?
Right.
You're, if anything, you're trying to fix the mistakes you saw.
He is the same Loki. There is no if or but he is the same Loki.
It's not the same Loki.
But physically and character-wise and story-wise, it's the same Loki.
But we're talking about mentality. Of course, it's the same Loki. It's the same character.
We're talking about timelines and time travel. This is the same Loki that is from our main movie universe, and now they're trying to
think differently. He's gonna think differently. He's gonna have different motives than the Loki that we have now. Granted, will still be.
It's the same motives. It's just instead of him experiencing now, he just Avengers 1. Same Loki. He would technically do everything again the same way. It's just he's in a different spot now, so he's sarcastic and more funny, just like it was in Thor: The Dark World and Thor 3. All the characteristics are still there. It's the same guy. It's just he didn't get to experience it because of the Avengers, and again, that makes no fucking sense.
We could argue this, but like, what makes you hate him though? Is what I'm trying to get at. Like, I don't understand the hate. I guess is what I'm saying.
It's what they're doing with the character. Like, I like Tom. I love Tom Hiddleston as a character. I think he's hilarious as shit. He's great.
Yeah, he's good.
He's a fantastic actor. But again, like this isn't a sympathetic. Oh, I'm a really good guy. This is Avengers 1. Like, again, if from that timeline, this is the Avengers 1. He hasn't experienced those things, but it's still the same Loki.
But there's scenes there that are trying to make him sympathetic. Maybe it's just not working for you.
He literally he drilled the man's eye out of his head.
Yeah.
And because of his action, half of New York. That's what I'm saying though. Like, oh, but not the same. Like, oh, this is just part of my trick of like having to prove people that this.
I will admit that argument was weak. Like the one you're pointing out right now. I will say that's weak.
Because especially you're arguing that this is the same Loki. If this is the same Loki as you say, at the end of Thor, he becomes a more heroic Loki. So why can't it be heroic here from the very beginning after seeing his whole timeline? It's just fast forwarding everything as you're saying.
He's still fucking scheming. He's still a schemer.
He's always gonna scheme.
That's what I'm saying though. But like
it's his nature, right?
At this point, I think it's just him, like, not wanting to admit that he is like he's an asshole, but he doesn't want to admit that he's an asshole, but he is an asshole.
He also doesn't want to admit that he's helpless. He's like, he hates the timekeepers because he doesn't like the fact that they're more powerful than him.
Yeah, like that's why I really like what happens now. Again, we still have 4 episodes left, but like.
That's
all that, because it's only 6 episodes. But like, it's really hard for me to really find a better arc than what he had to be a better character. Because again, like him crying, "Oh, I'm so sorry." I'm like, you ain't doing shit with it though. This is 2 hours of Loki.
But maybe he won't become a better character. He will.
And again, like, I'm basing off of the 2 episodes that we've seen so far and everything else that have come before this. not before. Well, again, we can speculate next about what's going to happen and all that kind of stuff. But as of right now, from all the movies to him bouncing back to the timeline and into this weird time space cops.
Well, they'll probably do a new Loki in the MCU. Is what they're gonna do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because they can't continue to pay or keep Tom for another 10 years.
Oh,
so they got to retire him somehow.
Own everything. Like, as long as they keep paying him, yeah, fuck it, why not? I mean, again, like it just, I don't know. It's part of the fans who just like jerk off to like Loki so much. Oh, he's the greatest character in the world, and oh, well, this is what you guys want. You can have it.
That's separate from watching the show, though.
Just kind of bugs me. Like again, like this whole retcon of a villain, where like everything made sense in the movies. Like it was a great natural progression, and now all that is lost, but it's not because we know it's there. But now you lost character of that opportunity.
That's the problem with doing time travel.
And that's why I have a problem, because
you can screw things
again,
up.
like if they stopped at Endgame, didn't make anything else perfect. You don't
still
have to
wouldn't have been on your top 10.
Nope, absolutely not. It would have been fine. You don't have to nitpick.
But then why stop at Endgame? Because they didn't. Like...
But now, like this, at this point, I think they just try to retcon the character just so they can mess with the timeline, so they can have Crane, the Conqueror come in, and we got Doctor Strange. Like one of these shows had to do it, and the showrunner has, I forgot what articles it was, but like didn't know anything about Scarlet Witch's past, like Mephisto and all that kind of stuff. Like they didn't know those characters, so they didn't put them in the story because they had no idea. It was Falcon Winter Soldier was to pass the baton to a new Captain America and kind of deal with like the actualities of a Black Captain America coming to be in, because again it's different for Rogers at the time he came out, and this Captain America has to deal with different things and yet still hold the same values and things that Cap had. This one is here to bring you Loki and to get us to the next phase of movies, because again we have at least 3 films that potentially deal with time madness. Spider-Man potentially. Again, there's not enough. There's not enough. A lot of people saying I'm not in this, I'm not doing this, so on and so forth. There's a lot of things going on still.
I agree with you as far as like this feels like a vehicle to like kickstart the next stuff.
We knew,
and it's like
why can't these shows were
now?
Be?
Yeah, but I mean, it has to be more than a vehicle, right? Like it has to be entertaining on its own.
I mean, maybe this only had to be like a 3-hour special movie, like on streaming service, or like, you know.
That's what I'm saying. It was like too long. It doesn't. It has me checking time rather than or like, you know, sad that there's only, I have to wait another week. You know, it's not like that with this show so far. And as much as I do like it, it's just that's hurting it, in my opinion.
Yeah, like again, like Tom Hiddleston with, oh wow, they're great together. It's fun.
They're good. I'm liking Ellen in this. At
a certain point, I'm like, how are we gonna do this whole song and dance of like showing Loki is so smart and no one else? Oh yeah, right, Loki, whatever, you're stupid. Oh yeah, I solved it. Oh, good for you. And then we do it all over again, and everyone either uses Loki to get what they want, and Loki.
That's part of it, right? They're kind of like saying this is all predictable. This is all cyclical. This has all happened before. It would all happen again. So maybe there's a payoff, and I'm hoping there is.
Yes, I want to.
At the end of Loki, he ran away, so we're not going to get that buddy cop thing going on.
I mean, he already ran away again. I think it was more curiosity. He wanted to know what the hell's this other Loki knows and why it's doing what it's doing.
I mean, again, they're not for the variant. He's going to run off and have boring conversation with a female Loki. I'm like, why are you doing this? Because I can. I don't know. It's just, I hope they have good conversation, good dialogue, but and like 2 hours.
I think there's something with those timekeepers. They may not even exist.
It's a cult.
The way they talk about it, the way they're like, they've always existed. Oh, they're busy. They're busy. Don't worry about it. They're busy. It's like, no, dude, come on. You guys are fucking brainwashed.
Oh yeah,
Like,
it's a cult.
you know,
It's a cult.
yeah,
It's a
there's something nefarious here. There's something evil here. This Loki knows something, but won't reveal it for another 3 episodes.
I hope it's interesting more than just it was Scarlet Witch the whole time, and there was no other twist or nothing, not even worth mentioning. I hope it actually has some kind of cool twist and reveal, like, oh shit, that's amazing, instead of, oh, I knew this already. What the fuck? Again, like, I'm judging off of 2 episodes alone.
Right.
Now we can speculate what happens next, and that's always fun. And usually we're like partly wrong, but partly right too. But off of these 2 episodes, I'm not really enjoying it. So like, I'm not enjoying the series as a whole. I'm enjoying little aspects, but I'm
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
like not dying to see the next episode.
No, I'm really not. I'm not dying
You
to
guys are
see it.
nuts.
It's like, I would love to see the implications of this show, but the show itself is not like edge of my seat, dying to see it every week.
Yeah, like
That's kind of the problem for me.
like the small details you brought up are kind of cool, but they don't serve any purpose than just to be like nice detail to a scene that's like, oh, we probably could have got here a little faster. We didn't have to like ruin his salad and take someone's soda and throw salt and pepper in there
And it's
to
like,
get to the point.
at some point it gets annoying to be talked to like a child, like, oh, I can't possibly fathom this concept of timekeepers, so you have to play an animation for me like I'm a fucking dumbass. And then Loki has to like pour orange juice into a salad for me to
But
understand.
you
You know
kind
what
of
I mean?
have to, because there's so many rules that are there for
Yeah.
timekeeping that it's not even set in stone like what could happen.
And
Like we brought up the
people who
fact that
enforce it don't even
Avengers,
know. They don't
correct,
even know.
and Marvel doesn't even know. So they're walking a tight line here, and that's
Yeah.
where you kind of have to just like appreciate what they do and just be a little patient with it. That's why I'm a little patient.
I mean,
with
I
it,
haven't
because
given
I
up.
know.
I don't hate it.
First
It's
off,
just,
I seen what they could do with 23 films. I'm not going to expect the world right now off of 3 miniseries that they just started popping up.
it is
I
an
knew
interesting
from the
thing to point
I,
out. Yeah.
I
mean,
knew from
I
the
They're just starting
get-go these were
the
going
new.
to be vehicles and nothing else.
I feel like you
The
should have
big
expected
stuff
more.
That's not always satisfying though, to watch vehicles happen.
for me it is, because especially with the whole pandemic that was going on and all that. But like for me, I like the little side stories and the in between kind of stuff. And I
Mhm.
knew that this is what that was going to be. And the movies were going to be the big popcorn, the big action, the big no wasting time kind of stuff. These,
Sure.
I
you
mean,
could waste time. You could
Look at Star
start
Wars. If you watch the
getting to
Clone
know
Wars
the
series,
characters.
you get so much more.
Correct. And you could start getting to know the characters a little more. With Clone Wars, that made me appreciate the prequels 10 times more.
Mm-hmm.
And that made me love the prequels
Totally.
now and actually want to watch them, or before I didn't want to watch them. This and the little details with like the apocalyptic stuff and stuff like that, especially with the time variant stuff, I like that little shit. Like the cartoons that you're saying that are a little kiddie-ish. I mean, that takes me back to like Jurassic Park. When Jurassic Park had that little cartoon, because it's so crazy, this idea that it doesn't happen in real life. You kind of have to put in a cartoon and dumb it down for everybody.
I'm just saying, if you do that every episode, it's like, okay, like stop treating me like I'm a dumbass. Like, you know what I mean?
This is a physical ride, and this is the intro to the ride, and this is why we have it. It's not like, so it was smartly written to have a purpose, not just be like, hey, we can do animation and we can have this scene in here.
I feel like each
um,
episode is like 12 minutes too long. Like,
yeah, it's long.
you cut about 12 minutes, this will be a lot tighter, a lot more interesting, engaging, and I'll be salivating for another episode. But it's like right now you're dragging scenes that don't need to be dragged.
I think if you cut the 12 minutes out, man, you start losing out on Owen Wilson's character. And that's what this show is for. This show is not really, I mean, it's for Loki, but we're watching it because of Loki. But really, where
he's
you start
kind of our avatar
stuff,
right?
Correct. Where you're gaining the characters is like Owen Wilson's character. On, I think his character is going to have more of a, he's going to have more of a payoff at the end and have more repercussions. And I think maybe Loki, you could argue that.
He might have
mean,
a mind-blowing experience where he's like, "Fuck the timekeepers,"
because there's more of him.
you know.
the vehicle, it kind of like diminishes that a little bit just because it is the vehicle. Like this is not meant to have. Again, like it'll
But it
affect the
still
story
needs
over the
that. It
movies.
still needs that for you could watch it every
But
episode.
Yeah, yeah.
again,
I
I'll
still like
argue
it. I
like
just don't love it.
I'll argue like when you said like, oh, these are just vehicles. Like Winter Soldier and Falcon is a vehicle, but that like was a legit story, had in the beginning, the middle, and end, and had purpose behind it. Like it wasn't just there to be like, oh, we need to get from Civil War to the next Captain America movie. Like it was, this is Sam Wilson's growth into Captain America. This is Bucky coming to terms with what he's done and trying to change physically. Like it wasn't just like, oh, this needs to happen so Doctor Strange happens or this happens. Like it was a legit story, had a beginning, a middle, and end. It wasn't like it's a side story to the movies, quote unquote, but this is like movie worthy shit.
Sure.
If anything, Captain or I'm sorry, Winter Soldier and Falcon, that was more of an ending and then also a beginning to a new thing. So that was an ending. That was a vehicle to finish up the Falcon story and then continue it with the Captain America story. And then, of course, you're going to mix in a little bit of Winter Soldier and all that in there.
Right.
WandaVision
was more vehicle-ish.
More vehicle-ish, but it also gave you more of an insight on how broken Wanda really is to get you into understanding that character more.
Like why she would do this
in Doctor Strange, because if you only had Doctor Strange, that movie, like you're talking about these shows being too long. That movie would be too short to actually figure out, and they would just lose it.
Well, same with like Loki, the prequels, right? Like you see Anakin from 2 to 3. He's like, "Oh, my powers have doubled." I'm like, why? How?
With Loki here, you still don't know where it's going to go. You don't know if Loki is going to be a mainstay character after this show is done. All we know is that this is going to have major repercussions with I always want to call it Far From Home, No Way Home, and then Multiverse of Madness.
Yeah.
We know it's going to do that.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Ant-Man and Wasp probably too, so...
Well, Ant-Man and Wasp, though. Oh, okay, it's gonna feed into that as well. Yeah, but I focus on Far From Home. Or shit, I focus on No Way Home and Multiverse of Madness because those are going to be the main movies that we're getting pretty quickly. Where Ant-Man is a little bit down the road. I think Ant-Man. I think that's going to turn more into like an Avenger-esque movie. I think because if Krang is in there. Or Kang, or whatever how you pronounce his name. If he's in there, Kang. Ant-Man can't only fight him. I think we need other people to fight him. I don't know. I'm kind of disappointed that you guys find this boring, but I can't wait till every Wednesday and watch this thing and find out the little details going on in the background.
Yeah. I mean,
it's
like
just not like love it, like dying to see it. That's the problem.
I don't want to. I don't want to criticize you for like liking those details because those are cool details. Like there's a lot of detail into stuff, but like is it important details or is it just there for filler, which is kind of the thing where I'm at right now. We don't know, right? What we had to judge
really, I think that is all just filler because now the multiverse is just fucked. So I think it is just all filler for now, unless those dates are. I don't know. Those dates have to mean something.
And again, just judging off, we can only judge off so far. And we can speculate, which is always fun, but we have to go off what we have right now currently. And for me, currently, they're great details. Those are cool things, but to me, it's just filler, and the main story is dragging its little feet along, and it needs to move faster. But
I think a lot of things have happened though in 2 episodes.
I mean,
it's just slow though.
That is what I'm saying, because
he was captured. He figured out
a lot of this episode was him in the books and just going to crime scene, go back to your desk, paperwork. Let's go to this scene, paperwork. Let's talk, paperwork. And then like test a theory. Now we're actually at the point of the story where where now we're actually in the field and we get to experience this, not just paperwork, banter.
Well, the first episode, I mean, that was a lot of talk. I mean, there was a lot of like retreading the same thing for like 12 minutes. Like
Yeah.
they keep talking about 12 minutes, but it's like 12 minutes would have really helped.
Yeah, because like the first episode, the first half is literally him just standing in line or hey,
That
sign
was
this paper.
fine. I'm okay with that. But he was in the room with Owen for like 20 minutes. I was like, this is too long. This is too long.
Yeah. I don't know. I hope it gets better, and I hope it can go from I don't like the show to this was really good, but I don't know.
I mean, I like it.
Not,
I just don't love it, like I keep saying. But I do want to see what's happening. I mean, he followed her. He followed that other Loki. So I mean, I want to see what's going on with what's going on with this.
I just how did you feel about that, anyways? Because like there's a big reveal of like who's the variant. It's like it's a lady.
I mean, it wasn't much of a reveal, right? Because we know it's another Loki already. That doesn't seem like much of a reveal. It's is he gonna look? How is that Loki gonna look? That's all the reveal was, and that's very.
The reason I say that is because when they showed the variants in front of his face, it was him. It was that Loki, but blue, a little taller, bluggy wise. This was like a different gender in general, or maybe not
matter
even
to a god. Like, does that even really matter?
That's what I'm saying. Like,
I don't think that matters.
But I don't know. I'm just curious because I'm like, because
they tried to make it bigger than it was, but we already knew that it was another Loki. It would have been a bigger reveal if they would have kept that hidden from us until now, and then they said, "Oh, it's another Loki."
It should have been Matt Damon.
Yeah, he's one of the. They disintegrated that guy a long time ago.
that would have been hilarious. Like, he played Loki in the play. He actually ended up being a variant. I don't know. I thought that'd be funny, but
I think the show is gonna get good. It's just it's a little long and stuff, but I don't know.
I'm interested to see how Black Widow falls into all this.
If at all.
Well, no, I mean she shows up and she shows up in some of the promo stuff. So I want to know what those entail more than anything, and see what that scene is about. That's what I'm kind of waiting for. That's why I also don't try to watch any trailers or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I guess that's Loki episode 2. See, we missed before we get into our final thoughts and everything. Like, there are anything I just want to bring up. Is there anything we missed, like story wise or like key moments wise, that we missed?
No, I don't think so.
I don't think so.
Okay. So final thoughts or any last inquiries or questions or comments you wish to make?
Nope. I'm looking forward to the next one.
Mr. Manny.
Nope. I already said what I'm looking forward to with that. And I also want to see what those bombs are doing. Those bombs are still kind of confusing for me because when it blew up, everything that was on the floor erased, but not the whole world kind of thing.
It was.
So that's where
there was a lot of them connected.
It deleted the things that weren't supposed to be there, or like stuff that was changed because the thing that was there wasn't supposed to be there.
So when those bombs blow up or those bombs show up, since everything else is supposed to be there, doesn't it? Shouldn't that mean nothing else gets erased? Those are the kind of things. I want to know how those bombs work. I want to be talked like a child about those bombs.
I mean, maybe what she does is throws those bombs in apocalyptic moments and causes those not to happen. And now we have new timelines that aren't supposed to be there. Maybe. Because she spends a lot of time in those areas anyways. Because they're supposed to end, but now they're brand new and continue.
She seems to want branches rather than one stream.
She wants the lizards. On a frying pan.
There's something bad with those keepers, though. There's something really wrong there.
And we know this. It's Illuminati. Yeah. So lizard people. It's funny.
It was too,
But yeah,
like the way Owen described it. It was
mhm.
too clean, too easy. He was like, "Oh, when they finish with the time stream, we're all gonna go to sing Kumbaya in paradise forever."
Yeah.
You know, so
That will be more interesting. So that I'm hoping to get some more context with, and not just like a clip. Whoops, it's over. That would be interesting, but
yeah.
I'll let me know.
Well, they got a lot of work to do.
They got a lot of work to do, and they have plenty
4
of time.
episodes.
But
What's weird is like Falcon Winter Soldier felt like too many plot lines being juggled, and now it's like right now it feels like it's just a little too slow.
For some.
I think for a lot. Well, maybe not a lot, maybe half. But yeah.
You talk to a lot of people. You talk to a lot of people about this show, Sonny.
I watched a lot of reviews and stuff, and talked to some people. He's like, I don't know, man. I'm like, okay, cool. So
People are mixed. You're hearing, or what?
I'm hearing mixed things, but
Yeah.
I just
Same thing with Wanda, right? People were complaining at the beginning. They were like, "Oh, nothing's happening," and blah blah blah.
Yeah, and in that case, we were on the side of you're stupid. This is really really interesting and different, and like those throwbacks. And
Till
now
the end happened.
And now I'm on the other side of that when it comes to Loki. So how times
maybe
Loki
we're being
so far
spoiled.
has 96%, Rotten Tomatoes 9.1 out of 10, 4.8 rating. Yeah.
I'll take Rotten Tomatoes serious though. So no, that's true because like people will just bomb the shit out of movies just because, like just because.
They just kind of allow it to happen.
Yeah, it is allowed to happen. Oh well, it is what it is. I don't know. I just feel like
It's only happened for like 2 major movies, though. Has it not?
There's too many. I don't know about that. I'm a jack of all trades. I know a little bit of a lot of things. I'm not one thing, so I kind of pick up things. But yeah, so that is Loki season. Not season 2. Loki episode 2. We'll definitely continue to talk about this next week because season. Jesus. Episode 3 will be out next week along with Bad Batch. So we'll give you our thoughts on that as well. Thank you guys for listening. Hope you enjoyed our probably extra long, super duper episode.
We really did talk a lot this time.
I really do hope you guys enjoy because I think we're at our best when we just kind of like talk to each other about stuff and kind of get like passionate without getting angry and mad about stuff and just kind of be able to talk about shit. So
yeah,
if you want to check out the podcast and listen to the audio portion of the podcast, head over to Spotify, Apple Podcast, and any podcasting app of your choice. If you wish to watch the video portion of this podcast, head over to YouTube. Type in 3 Nerds on a Sunday. We pop up first because we're still awesome. Follow us on Instagram as well. And if you want to know when the episode drops, Instagram, 3 Nerds on a Sunday. Want to know when the episode drops, follow us on Facebook. Always on Sunday. Times vary, but always on Sunday. And until next week, thank you guys for listening to another episode. I hope you enjoyed. Goodbye. Shutter, I love you.
Bye.
Bye.